electrical guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel witch and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio. Yeah!
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to Mornings with Mike Winters. I am he. That would be me, Mike Winters. Happy. Not Monday, but Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
The twoest of the days.
Do you feel a little less
Monday?
time lag?
A little bit. It's
Yeah.
starting to kind of wear in a little bit.
Yeah.
Personally speaking, I love post time change.
Yeah.
Because I love dark mornings. I like coming to work when it's dark out because I feel like a farmer. You know, I feel like I'm actually accomplishing
feels
something.
right.
Yeah.
As a guy that does a morning show, and it starts early,
Right.
yeah, it's supposed to be kind of dark.
Yeah. If I'm getting in the
for
car
now.
and the sun's already cracked the horizon, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
what the? Plus, I have a real hard time with my vision the way it is. Dusk and dawn are the worst times for me to drive. Like, I'll have to put the visor down just to cover up a little bit of sky,
Right.
so I can see the ground.
I understand what you're saying. Yes. Yep. Yeah, I've as I've gotten older, I've noticed light things. I'm like, oh man, it's visor. Or a lot of times when I'm hanging out here all day, and then I go out without sunglasses, and it's like vampire. It's like, oh.
Welcome to Two Old Men Blink at Sun in the Morning.
So when you see me just staring at the sidewalk, it's just because I'm just trying to navigate because I can't look directly up.
During
But yes, happy Tuesday. Although it's like today's, like they're saying we get blowing dust today, but the winds aren't like that.
they're not dust producing.
They're not that impressive. I mean, they're 10 to 15 is what they're saying. We're supposed to increase to 10 to 15.
Okay. For the record, though, if you take a handful of dust in a 15-mile-an-hour wind and go like this, it'll blow.
Yeah, but it's not gonna. You're not gonna kick up like 30-mile-an-hour wind.
No, you're not going to like sandblast the side of your car. Or
I just don't
anything,
remember seeing a lot of brownout conditions with 15-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, are we in brownout condition? Like, is there like a brownout warning?
It says patchy blowing dust. Well, it's this afternoon, after 3 today. And that's the part I'm kind of confused on.
Winds
I
at
just
10
don't
to
see
15. Does it say gusts up to anything?
No, it says northwest winds 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour in the afternoon.
The war of the weather. Let's see. it's. We were talking about this off the air, but there's different forecasts from different places.
Yeah, I'm just going to National Weather Service.
Right. This just says abundant sunshine, highs in the low 80s and lows in the low 40s.
They took the day off.
Yep. Although fire weather watch. No, that's Wednesday.
Yeah, tomorrow's the weather. Yeah, that's all tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow's a proper blowing dust wind day.
Tomorrow's proper Roswell. I don't know what the heck's going on this morning.
That's a good way. That's what you expect. 40-mile-an-hour gusts. Yeah, dust. 10 to 15.
Whose side are you on? Are you rooting for dust?
No.
You're like, I need it to look like the set of Dune.
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying tomorrow it's all right. You telling me it? I know what that all jives. I'm not saying I like it. I'm just saying
it makes sense.
I understand it.
Make it make sense.
Yeah.
That's what you just make it make sense to me.
I mean, it's like saying we're gonna have a flood, but it's not gonna rain today.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, is that happening?
Flood. 20% chance of rain, but flood conditions. Brace for it.
I don't know, but
these days I feel like even saying that F word on the radio is like yelling fire in a theater.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like you probably shouldn't. It's kind of a touchy subject.
Like Beetlejuice, don't say it 3 times.
Right.
Yeah. Got mojo on it.
Mike's over here going, blowing dust, blowing dust, blowing dust.
I'm just, either tell me the real wins or because that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Don't pee on my leg and tell me it's windy.
somebody lying. Either the winds are lying or the dust is lying, and I'm not sure which one it is.
Kansas.
But I
It was
want to know.
Kansas that was lying all this time. Dust in the wind, my booty.
Who lying? For fans of the National Football League, they started the legal tampering period yesterday. So, because I think technically free agency starts today.
Yeah.
But the legal tampering period started, which means they can do everything they want except for actually sign the contract.
For those who aren't NFL fans, remember that one scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory where Slugworth is in Charlie's ear?
Yeah.
That's basically what happened yesterday.
Yeah, so everybody that's a super fan of their team was glued to their phones yesterday waiting for my team. And unfortunately, Cowboys fans, a lot of crickets yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they ain't signed nobody. That's all. They ain't got no money, I don't think. That's part of the problem.
They could sell their stadium. I mean, that's got to
I mean, there's physically money there.
cool
They
billion.
just have cap issues.
Yeah.
Jerry's got plenty of money, but you can't spend it on the salaries for the team. That he's in jail on. He's just capped up. So what happens when you pay a franchise quarterback money, but he's not a franchise quarterback?
And he's just not worth the squeeze.
I told him. Jerry, listen to me. I'll be all right.
Yeah, they didn't contact you.
No.
I feel like.
A lot of people could solve a lot. Just call me.
Call Mike.
I got
That's fine.
opinions. I got thoughts. But yeah, so it's but it's funny. And of course, as a fan of the Washington football team, I too was one of those people. But it was all right. I love it because fans are idiots.
Yeah.
They just want it, like any big name that shows up. It don't matter who it is. Welcome to the team. And I'm like, the dude's 35. The guy was great 10 years ago. There's a reason why he's no longer. I was like, stop it. You're chasing names. You're chasing,
I've found more often than not, I don't know what I want. Like when it comes to like entertainment, I'll have an expectation or I'll think I know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then something, veers out of the norm.
Yeah.
And that's what intrigues me. That's what reels me in,
Yeah.
keeps me paying attention.
Well, I mean, I know what I want and whatever other things, but when it comes to football, I know I don't know. I'm not a general manager of a national football team. I'm some dude that watches TV on Sundays. And so...
Yeah, but you also, you tend to analyze a lot more than the casual fan.
But not like those people. Like these guys.
Easy, Mike. Can't just go around saying those people nowadays.
I'm talking general managers and things. They literally do analytics. They spend all their waking hours studying people and looking for deals, and and that's yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that says Debo looks good. You know what I mean? That's you have my way. I'd have Micah Parsons, Debo. I'd have like every Tom Brady. We'll bring him back. Yeah, why not? Put him in there. That's me and the fans. We're idiots. Don't listen to us. But it just makes me mad when fans say, like, they made one signing yesterday that was not to the liking of Commanders fans, and they were, and all I've heard is let Adam cook. Trust Adam. Trust Adam. They signed this defensive tackle that a lot of people think we overpaid for a little bit. Man, what a bum! And I'm like, you guys are idiots. I was like, hey, let him finish.
Give it time, yeah.
You don't hang out with the chef while he's in the kitchen making you soup, man. He might throw a thing or two that might make you scratch your head.
Right.
Just shut up and slurp.
Shut up and slurp. Who do you think you are, Gordon Ramsay? Go sit down.
That's right. So it made
Get
me
out of the
laugh.
kitchen.
It's like you just spent the last year and a half calling this guy a god. The guy literally signed one guy and you're ready to fire him. I'm like, you people are idiots.
You're only
And
as
that-
good as your last decision.
And that is free agency for the NFL. And
There you go.
what I just did, that's done by 31 other teams right now.
Right.
So everybody's fan base is doing the same thing.
Everybody's doing the cakewalk.
That's right.
It's shuffle time.
Yeah. All right, we better get the hour of going and a going if we want to have time to get all our things done we want to get done.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to replay an interview this hour. We had CEO of the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling, join us on Friday. Had a great conversation with him talking all about what these air race things are about. So we're going to play that interview for you here in just a few minutos. In the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:15, Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell join us for his monthly visit. Give us an update what's happening out at ENMUR. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, about 9:15, we're going to have Roswell Fire Chief Steve Chavez join us, talking health safety tips, things like that. I particularly wants to talk a little bit about reminding and urging people to, when you see emergency vehicles, get to the right.
Right. Move
right. Move right.
I believe Ludacris said it best.
Yeah.
Move, get out the way.
Yeah.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
Yes. So we'll talk that. Well, mostly that, because some of what they're dealing with. And I concur. When I did the ride along, I saw we were going down Main Street, and this was like 11 o'clock at night, and people, you see the lights blow up on them. I saw one guy literally hop the medium and get over it. I was like he just freaked out and popped the curb, and I thought he was going to get in an accident himself.
Damn.
Trying to get out of the way of the cop car we were in. It was nuts.
Just go pull right.
Yeah, people. So we're gonna have a conversation, folks.
There you
about these kinds of things. We're gonna learn you how to do this. All right, it is 7:17. Let us get you up to date on the weather. Allegedly, we'll get some blowing dust. Or allegedly, we'll have some wind.
We'll see.
Allegedly.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead, so we will stay sunny and warm today, but the wind will be kicking up a little bit, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Overnight looks clear, down to a low of 40, and then gusty again on Wednesday. Watch out for some blowing dust on the roadways. We'll be sunny, and our afternoon high in the mid-70s, wind gusting to 40. Windy again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 37 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 25%. Winds are out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Expect patchy blowing dust after 3 p.m. today, so they say. Sunny and a high of 79 today, so it's going to be warm, pushing 80. Winds will be out of the northwest 5 to 10 this morning. Out of the southwest 10 to 15 miles per hour this afternoon. Again, winds aren't so bad today, so I don't get the dust, but all right. Mostly clear tonight with an overnight low of 42. Southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. And tomorrow, we're going to get just the downright windy, dusty day. Matter of fact, they've already issued a fire weather watch for tomorrow beginning at 9 a.m., remaining in effect through 9 p.m. tomorrow. They're saying areas of blowing dust for the afternoon, sunny and a high of 73, with winds out of the southwest 10 to 20 early. Later shifting to the northwest, increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Wednesday night, areas of blowing dust before 9 p.m., mostly clear with an overnight low of 38. Winds out of the west, 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 5 to 15 miles per hour after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny, a high of 77. Winds out of the southwest, 15 to 20. Gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. Thursday night, there is a 20% chance of showers, mainly after midnight, partly cloudy with an overnight low of 41. Patchy blowing dust for Friday, sunny and windy with a high of 61. Patchy blowing dust Friday night, overnight low of 36. Saturday, mostly sunny and breezy, 59 for a high, a little cooler for the weekend, and sunny and 69 for a high on Sunday. All right, 7:19, we're going to take a 3.5-minute break, and then we're going to play our interview with CEO of the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling. That's on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Good morning. This is Smiley Wooten at the Roswell Livestock Auction. 1,196 head of cattle sold on Monday on a steady to higher market with excellent buyer attendance compared to last week. Stocker calves sold 6 to 10 higher. Feeder cattle steady to 8 higher. Packer cows steady to 2 lower. Packer bulls 3 to 6 higher. 3 to 400 pound steers 412, 471. 3 to 400 pound heifers 387, 420. 4 to 500 pound steers 356, 412. 4 to 500 pound heifers 350, 387. 5 to 600 pound steers 321, 356. 5 to 600 pound heifers 294, 350. 700 pound steers 282,
Fred, thank you.
321.
Thank you much.
All right, it is 8:51. Let's pause for news.
7,800 pound steers 257, 282. 7,800 pound heifers 230, 236. Packer cows 138, 147. Canner and cutter cows 130, 135. Packer bulls 168, 180. Feeder bulls 150, 158. Cow calf pairs not well tested and top half the bred cows $2,300 to $2,700 per head. We do appreciate the business, and we'll talk to you next week. This is Smiley Wooten, Roswell Livestock Auction.
Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Hi everyone, this is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture. I'm the third generation in this legacy that began with hard work and bold dreams. From Grandpa's footprints in the concrete to floor tiles laid in the 50s by my dad, Bill. Every detail of this building is a testament to our pride in providing quality furniture and service to you. On your quest for making your home beautiful and comfortable, come see us at Glenn's on the corner of Union and Alameda, where delivery is free since 1953.
Double up days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle. Get 2.9% APR for 36 months on all new Ridgeline and Pilot, and 2.49% for 36 months on all new CR-V hybrids. Now's the time to make your dollars go even further. Double up and save during Double Up Days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
How do you find a roofing contractor you can trust? You can randomly pick one, cross your fingers and hope for the best, or maybe you can ask a psychic to predict who's trustworthy. Here's a better idea. Choose one who prefers using America's most trusted roofing brand, Owens Corning. And rest easy, because Owens Corning screens their contractors for reliability, professionalism, and customer service. Why take any chances? Owens Corning, trusted contractors, proven products. For an Owens Corning preferred contractor, visit owenscorning.com/roofing.
For a free estimate, give Do Right Roofing a call today, 575-623-2273.
Find them fast in names and numbers.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 19 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chairman and CEO for the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling, joining us in studio this morning. Good morning, sir.
Hey, good morning, Mike, and thank you very much. And delighted to be with you.
Yeah, it's a great, glad that we get a chance to chit-chat and talk a little bit about, because you guys are kind of bringing a big deal to Roswell here, and it's been the talk of the town here for about the last year or so here at least, and we're minutes away from physically seeing planes in the air and people in town and seeing the actual first championship air races here in Roswell.
Yeah, we're very excited. You know, from the beginning when we found out we had to go find a new home, there were many cities that were interested, 6 that finally applied.
Sure.
And, we were just delighted when we got to last May and were able to make the announcement Roswell was a selection. And ever since then, you know, we've just been working closely with the mayor, the county, and all the way up to the state people to do everything we can to get the infrastructure ready.
Sure.
But we're very excited, and most of the time now I'm trying to meet with people throughout the communities to make sure they understand what's coming their way.
Yeah, this is something that, you know, we tell people, we've been talking, you know, you've been having meetings, you know, Main Street, at EDC, right, various other entities kind of, you know, been talking to the town and saying, this is what we're getting ready for. Here's opportunities for you to partner with us in various ways, shapes, or forms, and things like that. So you kind of, you know, this has kind of been the teaching everybody to how to get ready moment here. But at the end of the day, it's kind of hard to explain to folks. Like, till you see it, you're not going to understand it. And once you see it, it's going to make sense. But this is, and because of where we're from and we're here, the only thing I'm like, look, this is like the International Boom Fiesta in Albuquerque, but even could be bigger than that. And we're, you know, because that's got a huge footprint in the international world. And I'm like, we're literally having something of that size is going to be right here in Roswell, New Mexico.
Well, you're exactly right, and that it's one of the reasons I was so delighted to join you this morning because, through you, I can reach a much larger audience. And the reality is there are two critical things to appreciate. One, if we get the majority of our core fans and new fans, we're looking at potentially 50 to 60,000 people descending on Roswell and all of southeastern New Mexico. And it really is important to recognize it's going to be a regional event. We just, while the airport, biggest reason to pick it was the safest location, the old Walker Air Force Base, was
that
a
is a
bomber
blessing
base.
in disguise. We don't realize is we have and it's got such unique runways and size, and there's so many neat features of that base that's obviously a selling point for you guys when you came.
Yeah, I have to be careful about how I say this, so I might offend somebody. Not my intention, but I'm an outsider. But it just struck us early on that it's potentially an underappreciated, but I certainly think underutilized asset. And we hope we can be part of the spark to bring that back.
That's where I think and I think this is where the community, and this is why the mayor and the county commission and all your elected officials are telling you is, we've been talking about we need to develop this because we have a gem here. And to be honest, there's been a lot of, different opinions on how we go about doing that. And I think this kind of creates that linchpin that says, okay, this is going to set the table for this. This brings a certain amount of audience and eyeballs onto what we do here. This is going to enhance what's already out there. The businesses that are already setting up shop, that are doing things, they're going to most of those are probably going to work right in concert with many of your guys out there. Some of the other things that are on tap from what I'm hearing that could also kind of join the party out there could potentially, we could be looked at like, Roswell is never not going to get away from the alien thing. You just face it, folks. You're going to learn this too, Fred.
Well, if you see my card, you'll see I sort of Roswellized it and added a little alien shit to the.
But as you get telemarketers calling you and you're from here and you say, hey, where are you from, Fred? Oh, I'm here in Roswell. They're going to ask you right out the bat, do you see aliens? So, yes, you're going to continue to see that. But what I'm going to say is I think this could create a thing where when people think of flying, when all things flying, whether it's military, commercial, when it thinks of the air industry, they're going to look at Roswell, New Mexico as one of those meccas for that kind of thing. And so that's what this is creating.
Yeah. Well, what we're bringing is, an iconic air racing event that you can't see anyplace else, 6 classes of closed course pylon racing. But I think one of the other reasons we're so excited about this area is, in fact, among our key mission items, one of them is honoring our military and all that they do. And with Cannon up to the northeast and Holloman down to the southwest, the reality is you've got a lot of retirees, a lot of active duty military. So we're excited. We usually, have anywhere from 20 to 50 new cadets sworn in every year at our event. We make Friday, Military Day.
I think you're going to get a new fan base here.
So we're, that's what I think. I think we're excited by that. We're also bringing our scholarship program. So we'll be announcing.
I would invite folks, because I was doing a little. If you go to the Air Race website, I think it's airrace.org. Yep,
you got
very
it.
easy to remember. And there, do your reading, go through there, especially if you're interested in saying, I want to be a part of this community. We talk about, I have the folks from the Walker Aviation Museum all the time, and they do a lot of STEM stuff with their flight training and all. This is that times 10 times more and more opportunities for folks that are interested in these types of career fields. You're literally having a smorgasbord of mentors and experts in this field here.
Yeah, STEM programs are critical to us because, exciting kids, youth of all ages, to be able to understand there's real opportunities in the entire aviation field. Pilots, mechanics, air traffic controllers, notwithstanding some of the challenges they've been facing.
We desperately need more people in the industry. Yeah.
The only way these industries keep going is, and you know this yourself from the military, is the truth of the matter is pilot gets all the joy of flying it, but it takes a whole crew to make sure that aircraft is up, ready, fueled, armed, and capable of its mission. And that's true throughout aviation.
Absolutely.
So we're some of our scholarships, one of the things we're excited with Bobby Thompson and I, we're funding 5 additional scholarships for AMP, and we're working with the university. And we know this is all a small start, but we're really excited by bringing it here.
Absolutely.
We're looking forward to it. We're person who heads this up for us in the STEM area has met with the superintendent of schools and many of the principals. he's actually optimistic we'll have more than 10,000 kids. Past in Reno, we got only up to about 7,500. So
this is amazing.
Everybody here seems to really, and many of the schools we learned have already very active STEM programs. So we're hoping we can help pull all this together and make it a...
And, of course, we have the university right there, which is a great... And, of course, they offer trainings and things, too, so it's going to work great with you guys partnering and working. You both can probably help each other out in those things.
We already are. Dr. Powell's a real pleasure to work with and his staff, and you're right. Having the university right next door is helping us in so many ways.
Which is, I'm kind of thinking this is why you guys decided to come to Roswell. After, like you said, there was, I think it was 6 at the time, all 6 great cities, and Roswell. Now, I'm not going to lie, I know Roswell put on the show. I know every time I got on social media, I'm going to say 6-1. There was people, come to Roswell over.
Well,
they put the full court press on you guys. I know for sure.
Mayor Jennings and Mike Espiritu, you can't compliment enough. Number one, the mayor clearly had a vision, which was attracted us to the fact that reimagining Roswell and giving an opportunity for growth and finding new jobs is critical to his agenda, and that aviation facility really does offer some significant possibilities.
Well, and it's in desperate need of rejuvenation and upgrading, and I think you guys are the spark to make to make that happen. That's why I think it's such a great partnership. Where yes, we hope to make your product the bigger, better, stronger, but at the same time. I think you guys are going to come in and make our community that much stronger and that much better. And to be honest, the things that we all talk about are problems in this community. Jobs and things to do and keeping our youth here, things like that. These solve all of those problems, or a piece of that puzzle to solve that problem.
We hope it will, and I think the one thing that we're most excited about in the near term, and I think the first place that everybody's going to see it, I mean, even in January when we had the class presidents, people from Cattle Baron and Posture Cafe and Tiwa, I mean, all of them basically said, it was nice to see a bump in business. And I said, well, wait till May. We'll probably have about 400 people descending. Yeah. That'll be the early wave.
You might want to contact your suppliers and order double on that one.
Exactly. And but when you get to September, I mean, within 2 weeks of announcing, all the hotels in Roswell were basically full. Yeah. They have some rooms still squirreled away for people. But we've been down in Artesia, Carlsbad, Port. We're, the old adage, a rising tide raises all buoys. We are really confident that the group of people coming will bring a lot of business. Merchants will see it, and we're excited by that.
And I think this is the part, too, is I want the locals to come and embrace this. Come to the race. Like, we're going to get a bunch of people from out of town coming in. You guys need to get out there in that grandstands, too, and see this and see what's going on in your own backyard. I'm telling you, I know this is accurate but not accurate, but it's the only thing I can get people that have no idea. It's NASCAR in the sky.
You couldn't have said it better. It is exactly that. It's NASCAR in the sky. Unlike Red Bull Racing, which is against the clock, we have multiple planes racing propeller to propeller, wingtip to wingtip against each other. And you're right. We're looking forward to the whole southeast region coming in and having a chance to see what it is, because until you see it, it's hard to imagine.
Absolutely.
They can go on YouTube and see a lot of racing.
Sure.
And but
see
at the same time, but just to imagine all of it going on over 4 or 5 days, it's really exciting.
It is. It's going to be. Again, go to the Air Races website, airrace.org.
You got it.
And because there you can see like some of the photos. You can read about like the different classes, because they literally go from almost to like if you're a drag racer guy, if you go out there, the run one you brung kind of categories. Right. All the way to more like what with NASCAR would be, where all the planes have the identical engines, the identical specs.
Yep.
So then, and in theory, it's all on the pilot, not on the machine. And then they have just drag racing too. Like
they do.
So you got everything. You get and that's what this is. And so you get, and there's jets. So you get the high performance jets. Now, don't get me wrong. If you think those P-51s and everything when they're going screaming around there that's slow, then you got bigger nerves than I do. But
the P-51s and the Supermarines, the reality is they're in the high 400s. A couple of them have cracked 500 for a propeller plane at 5,000 feet. That's quite a feat. But our jets are 525, and at the moment, they're only curtailed by our race course design. the early work here has given us the opportunity. We've designed a course that may be able to accommodate jets up to 600 miles an hour.
Wow.
And we made a clear decision in our first year not to go that far yet, but I'm hoping in 2026, not only are we going to have the Thunderbirds here, but we might have the first time jets have been able to race up 600. So
nice.
It's going to be phenomenal.
Well, I love the Blue Angels. I love the Thunderbirds. But as an Air Force vet, I'm always partial to the birds.
No, absolutely. So
I'll take those F-16s any day.
The Thunderbird. Well, both the teams, the pageantry, the expertise.
Oh, they're amazing.
It is amazing. And
I ain't
just
gonna
to
lie.
watch,
The I do love. They have what they call Fat Albert, the
Yep.
C-130.
Fat
with
Albert comes in.
Yeah, and they put rocket boosters on that sucker on a C-130. It's like put jetpacks on a C-1. It's just funny to watch. It's just
putting
cool.
jets in a bathtub.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But the reality is it works amazingly well. But the Thunderbirds are extraordinary, and we couldn't be happier to have them here.
Yeah.
So that's going to be exciting.
And that's the cool part too. Is it's a race and an air show. So if you want to come and see the coolest military aircraft and
Yep.
other things like that, because they all come and are part of this, and then so it's really it's like a 3-ring circus out there. They're just everywhere you turn, there's
That's
something
what it
going
feels
on.
like to me when we try to manage it. It's
It's well organized, but there's always something going on.
In the total time in the air, we're about 80 to 85% racing, and the rest of it's performers and military. And you're right, there's something for everybody. Plus, in particular, I really do come back to kids programs for STEM over the weekend. And I think there's a great opportunity for everybody to learn something more about aviation.
This is something that I kind of wanted to pick your brain on this, because obviously, again, go to the website, airrace.org. There you can learn more about the scholarship programs and some of that stuff. But if folks are really interested in getting in this industry, if it's maybe you're already pilot, maybe you want to take the next level here, this is the cool part when May is going to be like a dress rehearsal a little bit.
Yeah.
We're going to have, and the reason for that is because this is a new course, new created.
Everybody's got to come back and train on it.
So every single person that's going to be competing out there has got to come to Roswell here in May to get checked out on that.
Well, they have a small back door just for full clarity, and that is, everybody's schedules are busy.
Sure.
Our racers are not professional, and almost all of them are
Some have day
self-funded.
jobs and things.
Yeah, exactly. Some of them actually have to earn the living to support the planes we love to race.
Not all of you retired with disposable income.
So when it comes down to it, if they absolutely cannot make PRS, then we have a 2-day familiarization right before the races.
Okay.
For each of the classes, so the ones that couldn't come in May, we'll find a way to get them certified. But that's only for existing certified racers.
Gotcha. People that have been doing
Anybody
this.
who's a rookie absolutely has to come.
You guys are down and go. You got to go through the course. So
you must go through the training, Pylon Racing School.
But so that'll be kind of a dress rehearsal. We're gonna have a lot of folks coming in, and then of course in September will be the actual air race
big event,
and that'll be the full air show, the full races, everyone's got their party dress on, and we're doing our thing here, and that's kind of
we're pilots. So you don't need the party dress. You can come casual, but the reality is you're right. The races themselves will be from Wednesday the 10th through Sunday the 14th, and ultimately most all the pilots will be coming in basically by the week before. So
nice.
By the 3rd and the 4th, they have to be here, and they've got to tech their planes. They've got to be in. You talk about stock class. T6, the class I used to race in, is stock. As they say, our tech rules are really, we call them anti-cheating rules. We're trying to find out who's doing something they're not supposed to do according to our rules.
Sure.
But then they practice and then qualify, and then let the show begin.
I again, going back to the website, learn a little bit of the lingo. That way you can understand, like when you do go out to the races, see what they're about, and when you hear things like race to the pylon, you know what that means.
Exactly.
You'll hear that a lot over the weekend.
Our smallest course is about 4.2 miles around. The longest, the unlimited, the jet course, is nearly 10. And as you well know, and one of the things is very fortunate, the Brown Brothers Ranch, 2/3 of our pylons are over their ranch. And the Hollyfields have just been wonderful, wonderful neighbors. They're excited by it. And
I'm curious to see, because like you said, judges are at the pylons.
Yep.
Are those pylons like a little tent hut thing that they can hang out in?
Well, that's a good question. So the pylons are an awfully fancy name for what basically is a very tall telephone pole with a very large 55-gallon drum on top of it, painted, clear that you can see through. And the pylon judges, you have 4 of them at each pylon. They're looking up through that. if they see through that can, any part of the wing, that's a pylon cut.
Okay.
So, and the way that gets affected is it knocks like
It's
2
like a big
seconds off
a
every
periscope
lap.
kind of deal almost.
Not even a periscope. No, the sight view is great. Because remember, our rule is you can't race your head. It can't be more than less than 50 feet above the ground.
Okay.
Plane can't be more than 250 feet, mainly to keep all our timing gear working right. So the reality is you're down low, you're close to that pylon, and for the people that get a chance to go out to the pylons, some of our sponsors, there is nothing cooler than being 40, 50 feet below that plane going by you at 450 miles an hour screaming with props going full blast.
That's about as close as you can get to that NASCAR experience where they show where they put the camera. That's about as close you can get into that.
Absolutely.
That's cool. As a person who's experienced that in different military forms and things, it's a rush when you've got that going and that RPMs and that amount of power comes blasting by you. It's kind of like at the air shows and stuff, it's always cool when every once in a while they get one of the planes and they'll pop the sound barrier right there on you. You all know when that happens.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's what this is gonna. It's all of that, and so, and here was what I was kind of starting to get at, and I got sidetracked. If you're into this stuff, these are families. This is a very family-like community. I cannot tell you this enough. If you want to learn more about it, you want to walk the pits, when the weekend's going on, talk to the, very much similar if you go out to the racetrack out of here and you walk to the pits and talk to the crews. It's no different at the air races.
You can come down and tour through the pits, see all the airplanes, talk to the crews. Sometimes the pilots are there, the crew chiefs are there, and they're always glad to explain what their favorite plane is.
I imagine like car guys. If you want to talk planes with plane guys, they'll talk with you all day about it.
They'll talk your ear off. There's no question about it.
And of course, getting back to what you said, your focus on military. Man, a lot of these pilots are former military, or a lot of the teams are military background.
Particularly in our jets and our unlimiteds, a lot of them are former military. A couple of them are former astronauts, in fact. And the reality is, it's if they're not military in my area, in the T6s, a lot of them are crop dusters.
Nice.
I was the odd one when I came in. They looked at me and said, "Well, you're not former military. You're not a crop duster." And I said, "Yeah, but I can learn."
And this is just me living here, and I'm a radio guy. I'm not a farm and rancher guy, but we have a guy. I used to do the radio show in Artesia, and so I drive back and forth every day.
Yeah, I was just down there yesterday.
And of course, I'm driving at dark 30 or whatever before and of course the crop dusting guy, he would always be out there in his little yellow plane, and he's doing his little barrels and flying, low, and I'm like, what a great life that guy has. I mean, what are you going to do? I'm going to get out and just kind of whip around on this plane and, hit a couple. I was like, that's got to be the life right there. So
it's a challenging life, but it's got a lot of freedoms to it, and it's so important to agriculture.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe we can go talk to that guy and see if he wants to, take a lap or two.
Well, if he's interested in T6s, he can come on out and be right at home.
Yeah. But come meet the families.
Yeah, meet the people. We call it our September family.
Yeah, and that's really what it is.
Hats off to Paul Pover, who founded EAA. The reality is, as Paul said, we come for the airplanes, we come back for the people.
Yeah. And by the way, help them become New Mexico-ified.
Right.
When they come, because they're going to be coming to town, they're like, hey, where's a good place to eat around here? Where's a good place to tell them your favorite places. Wherever your favorite green chili cheeseburger is or favorite enchilada is, tell them, take them there and show them where to go and show them the town. Ask them, hey, if they're looking for attractions to do, tell them where your favorite place to go. Take them to Lincoln. Take them to it depends. If they're into history, go show them some Billy the Kid stuff. They want to see natural stuff, take them down to Carlsbad.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important to us, and certainly in our marketing, both to our fans and the new people in the Midwest, because we think we'll get a lot more fans from the Midwest who haven't been to Reno, is, look, there's so much to do in southeastern Mexico that, truth is, most of the world in America doesn't know much about.
We are loaded with history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And, Goddard did all of his early work here, even though they named Goddard Space Center over there in Texas. Texans, they'll appropriate anything.
We got the planetarium in the high school, though.
Yeah, there you go. But the reality is, back to your point about welcoming him, I just have to give a shout out to everybody I've met in this community so far. The hospitality and the enthusiasm, they'll see my little emblem on the shirt, and they'll say, well, we're really excited by the air races, but the big challenge I have is their next question is, well, what are they?
Yes.
And so, again, thanks for letting me be here. And I bought a home. I'm looking to make this a key part of my next life for the next 3 years.
You're going to get a little few New Mexico roots in yourself here.
Well,
too.
I'm working on it.
That's
I'm
good
working
then.
on it.
How's how's the green chili thing? Yeah, are you getting
A green chili stew at Cattle Baron?
Was it 10?
It's just been fabulous.
Nice.
So we there a lot.
Well, that's the biggest, most important question in the state of New Mexico: the red or green. It's a state question. It's official. That's but we love our chilies here. That's
I've discovered that, and they're really good.
And we get a little salty when Colorado tries to come in on our chili.
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
We got
that's all right.
That's cute. Yes, folks.
They say imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
Exactly.
So there you go.
That's what.
If they can't invent, they copy.
That's right. We can't be doing them, kind of thing. But folks, get ready. This is going to be fun. You're going to be so excited to see this and see into our community here. Really, and to be honest, when we talk about because there's a lot, if you're a profit or church group, organization, there are many opportunities to work and get involved with the event. Go through the website, go through the proper channels, because there's a lot of needs that are going to be need to be met at the air races. And a lot of it's done through volunteers.
You're exactly right, Mike. We utilized 1,200 volunteers, and the good news is out of our core, my estimate is we'll probably get at least 800 or more of them coming back to help us make the transition. But we had a volunteer event because we need to recruit lots more people to help us for the event.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have much more vendor space. The nice thing about the air base is that, in fact, it's got a third more land that we'll have for the event space than we've had in Reno. So
we never had a problem finding dirt. We got plenty of dirt.
Yeah. Well, and if you go out there, we had the groundbreaking last Wednesday. You go out there, well, we're turning some of that dirt's going to be all chip sealed and turned into a nice event space.
Just a little bit less dust out there.
A little bit less dust, I hope. And Monday, as you know, this week with 70-mile-an-hour winds, I was here and I said, well, I just hope they die down by May.
I'm about to say the good news is this is March, April. By about May, they die down, and usually our fall's not.
No, I'm looking forward to it.
It's now you're seeing all of our seasons.
Well, it's been great.
Absolutely. Well, we do appreciate you spending some time with us. And folks, airrace.org. Is it air races or air race?
Airrace.org.
Airrace.org is the website. Go there and start there. Start reading and start and check back, because as we get close to the event, they'll start putting up some of the pilots, some of the competitors on the planes. Right. As we get more signings and things on board, they'll start putting them up on the website here as things progress here.
We'll have a great deal more up and going, but the other thing is we've opened tickets to the previous ticket holders, but come, I believe, March 14th or 17th, we're going to be opening ticketing broadly to the public, so we're looking forward to it. And we are planning for the local Roswell people to do a special discount for all of you for a couple of weeks.
Of course, if you're on the volunteering thing, volunteering has its perks.
The other benefit of volunteering, you volunteer a day and you get a day.
Yeah.
And we look forward to it. And we look forward to everybody becoming a part of our September family. And it's really cool.
It is. It's a lot of fun. And if you've never been to an air show before, I mean, the races is but even if you've never been to an air show, you've never gone to a military, it's such a cool experience. And you're going to get that right here in your own backyard when you get to because the pilots, everybody love to talk and love to see and love to come, and kids get up close and personal with these cool airplanes and everything else. It's just families go nuts. The kids will go love it. The mom and dad, you're gonna be cool and be like, well, that's pretty cool. Your dad. We all act like children when we get out there. That's the fun part of it is we get to see these cool things and these pilots. Now, don't get me wrong. This is racing.
It's racing. We're not an air show. We're racing, and God knows our insurance rate.
I'm about to say, you guys probably put a bunch of money in that kind of stuff.
But the reality is, it is racing. As you meet any of the pilots, and if you've seen some of our little short video clips, as people say, Americans love to compete. Around the world they love to compete, and so the ability to get out there with your fellow pilots and go head to head and find out who really is the best today.
Sure.
That's the most fun you can have with your pants on.
Absolutely. And I got to imagine it is a labor of love for 99% because
virtually all of them. They're all self-funding. None of us make any money.
Nobody's getting rich off this thing at all. They're all probably spending their nest eggs doing
no,
this.
they all keep hoping. And as I say to my daughter, who is actually a T6 pilot, and her husband is too, and he may come out and qualify, in which case he'll be one of the first Roswell-based T6 rookies. But we've got 3 other rookies we know of.
Hey, maybe we get some local rookies in there. Yeah, we need
we're
more.
Hoping
a little few Roswell native pilots out there.
If you're local and you have a Formula One or a biplane and you're interested in racing or a sport plane, give it a serious thought. Pipeline Racing School's applications are now open and up and online, and it's just a hell of a lot of fun. And most importantly, the whole aviation community, in my experience, and I've been a pilot for over 55 years. It's a special community. Mm-hmm. There's a bond because, like everybody who does a job they love, it's not work.
Sure.
The reality is they share their interest, their love, and their passion, and that's what you'll find when you come out.
Yeah, I imagine it's kind of like, from my own personal experiences and, sports, military, hockey, things like that. It's kind of that, it's like, it's family. You fight hard, but dang, we love hard, too.
Right.
You know what I mean? And it's one of those things. When we're on the course, it's every man for himself. But afterwards, we wrap our arms around each other, and we'll all get through each other through the storm if we need to. And that's kind of that mindset.
Place you see it is in the pits. If somebody has a part that goes bad and they need something, word goes out.
Sure. It seems to me, because I've had friends that they're like, same thing with the drag racing community. It's very similar in that mindset where it's everybody helps everybody. We're running on Sunday to have fun, and so we can get through our week to have more fun on Sunday.
And we want every one of us to be able to be out there and race. And if it's something out of my toolbox that makes your plane work better,
sure,
that's fine, because that's what the course is all about.
Absolutely. Plus, it makes the bragging rights funnier later. It's like, I beat you with my own part.
Exactly. Well, Mike, thank you very much. Thanks for your
Fred,
show and your interest. You have a great day.
And welcome to Roswell, and hopefully you get to see all the beauties of it, not just the haboob side.
No, it'd be wrong if I didn't repeat it. And everybody I've met here has just been wonderful, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know more and more people in the community.
Absolutely.
So thanks for welcoming.
And obviously, we get close to these events. Hopefully, we get to see you yourself and more of the team coming in, and as they come to Roswell and introducing themselves and get acclimated to Roswell, and who knows, bringing some of these pilots in. Who knows? We could just let them talk shop here and have fun, and
absolutely
kind of get everybody into the culture a little bit.
Well, if you have the time, certainly pilots. They're good talkers, and we'd love to.
And I hung around enough of them where I can keep up with them. So I was enlisted, so I dealt with a lot of pilots.
Well, again, I close. Thank you for your service, and thank you for keeping America free.
Well, thank you very much. It's kind of funny. You don't realize, because I got to wrap, but just real quick, like as a guy that pilots, and I know, I worked stealth, and so the pilots that were on that aircraft were not new. They all came from other
best of the best.
Yeah, they were previously some come off carriers, heavies, cargo planes. Some come off fighters. But anyway, you get a mix in them, and so. But I appreciated when those guys, because pilots, especially military pilots, they're very like Top Gun is not far off. That mindset, that whole that's kind of to do what they do, they kind of need that edge. As they say,
naval aviators are special.
Yeah, they kind of need that to do what they do. And so, but that kind of exudes. And so as weapons guys, as crew chiefs and stuff, you deal with that stuff, but those guys really do take the back seat. And that was the thing I learned is I'm a 2-stripe airman, and I'm probably half the age of this guy, but this is what I do. And he's defaulting to me, and especially when we got to wartime scenarios, because yes, we drop bombs all the time, but these are the real ones that go boom and we're doing something real here in this. And I remember, like, when we go to war and those guys are saying, all right, and then they kind of go through the motions sometimes when they do their pre-flight checks. And usually as a weapons guy, I'm the guy that's kind of there to arm the bomb, but there just to answer questions in case pilot's like, what's that thing hanging off my plane?
Exactly.
And so I'm there for that. But I'll never forget these guys, and they come to me, and when we went to war times, they're like, it hit different. Those guys are, all right, Airman, come here. Show me again. Why is this? And I said, sir, no problem. And because you could tell he's a little nervous and a little like, and then I was, and that was one of those moments where I was like, okay, despite the bravado, these are good. You know what I mean?
They
and
are.
And that's where I got to see the other side of
and
that.
They
and
understand that their crew has their lives in their hands. And, that's a bond that you can't get any other way.
Yep. And so come see that in on
Absolutely.
display. So, thank you, Fred. Thank you for spending some time
Thank
with us.
you,
We do
Mike.
appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
We can't wait for more things down the road here.
We'll be here all the time, and we'll look forward to whenever it works, and I'm excited by getting to know everybody in the community. Thank you, Roswell, for welcoming us in.
All right. We'll see you next time, Fred.
See you soon. Thank you much.
All right. It is 8:51. Let's pause for news.
Multiple dogs there. Local veterinarians are also finding distemper among dogs in the community that have not been in or near the shelter. Because of this, the city is taking a precaution of closing the dog park on North Grand Avenue next to the Wool Bowl. Residents are also urged to avoid interactions between dogs, do not commingle dogs with pets outside your household, and get your pets vaccinated. Eddy County Commissioners are voting to support a project that would store spent nuclear fuel near Carlsbad. This comes as a federal court ruling to block such a facility is under debate by the U.S. Supreme Court. The site has been proposed since about 2017, where as much as 100,000 metric tons of used nuclear fuels sent by rail from power plants around the entire country would be stored. Right now, there is no such waste facility anywhere in the U.S., and spent fuel rods are currently stored near the facilities, mostly in cooling ponds, as they await their final destination. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Get ready, Artesia. The main event car show and cruise is rolling into town Friday, March 28th and Saturday, March 29th, 2025. Friday night, we're kicking things off at 6 p.m. with the Main Street Cruise. Watch as classic cars, hot rods, and muscle cars take over Main Street, cruising by the decade. It's a moving history lesson with a whole lot more horsepower. Then, Saturday from 9 to 3, downtown Artesia transforms into the ultimate car lover's paradise. Cars, trucks, motorcycles, bikes, even tractors. It's free family fun with music, friendly competition, and more. Want in on the action? Register your ride at artesiachamber.com or stop by 107 North Street in Artesia. The main event car show and cruise, March 28th and 29th in downtown Artesia. Brought to you by the Artesia Car Enthusiasts, Artesia Chamber, and Artesia Main Street. Paid for by Artesia Logitech.
At Richland Motors, it's never been easier to sell or trade your current car, truck, or SUV for a newer model to hit the road in. Even if you don't purchase from Richland, they want to buy your vehicle for top dollar. But if you do buy from Richland, don't forget, they're the home of the powertrain warranty for life. That's a whole lot of confidence for you. See Richland for details, 2nd and Sycamore, and 1309 Southeast Main.
When managing a chronic illness, access to the right treatments makes all the difference. Artesia General Hospital's Infusion Center provides IV therapy and biologic treatments, so you don't have to travel far for care. Expert infusion therapy right here in Artesia. Call 575-736-8256 today to learn more.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
Hugh Hewitt is now in Roswell on 106.5 FM KEND Roswell.
And it's 8 o'clock. Town Hall News up next. We'll be back on the other side of news. Don't go away.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Efforts to end the war in Ukraine are taking center stage today in Saudi Arabia.
High-stakes talks between senior delegations from Ukraine and the US on how to end Kyiv's 3-year war with Moscow have opened in Saudi Arabia hours after Russian air defenses shot down over 330 Ukrainian drones over 10 regions in Russia. There was no immediate comment from Ukrainian or US officials on the drone attack. At least 2 people were killed and more than a dozen injured in the assault, including 3 children. No large-scale damage was reported. I'm Charles de la Tesma.
The Russians have stepped up their attacks on Ukraine in recent days, targeting the country's power grid and other key infrastructure. British officials concerned about environmental damage in the North Sea after a cargo ship hit a tanker transporting jet fuel off eastern England. Crash set both vessels ablaze. Fires were still burning as of earlier today. President Trump says the detention of a pro-Hamas campus organizer is just the start.
In a post on Truth Social, the president defends the arrest of green card holder Mahmoud Khalil, who led pro-Hamas demonstrations on the campus of Columbia University, celebrating the October 2023 assault on Israel. Calling such speech contrary to U.S. national and foreign policy interests, the president vows, quote, "We will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again." Bob Agnew reporting.
There's a House vote due today on a Republican-authored bill to fund the government through the end of September, the close of the current federal fiscal year. President Trump is urging GOP lawmakers to stand together in supporting the bill, but at least one Republican, Thomas Massie of Kentucky, may cast a no vote. On Wall Street, the Dow down 235 points, and NASDAQ is up 120. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Former Philippine President Rodrigo Duterte has been arrested in connection with an international criminal court case alleging crimes against humanity were committed during his anti-drug crackdown. President Ferdinand Marcos' office says Duterte was arrested today at the Manila airport and police took him into custody on orders of the ICC. It's not clear where Duterte was taken. A social worker who tried to mediate during the peak of Hong Kong's mass anti-government protests in 2019 has been convicted of rioting in a retrial. Jackie Chen shouting to her supporters that she'd be okay after the judge's decision was announced earlier today. The prosecution had accused Chen, who used a loudspeaker to ask police officers to calm down and not to use their guns to fire non-lethal bullets, of participating in a riot during a protest that took place in August of 2019. News and analysis at townhall.com. Japanese automaker Nissan unveils its entry into the driverless vehicle market.
The vehicle looks like something out of a sci-fi film, moving through the busy streets of Yokohama, Japan. Its steering wheel turns on its own, adjusting to traffic and responding in real time. But there's nobody in the driver's seat. Supporting the revolutionary technology, Takeshi Kimura, a developer at Nissan, says, when people change lanes, for example, we turn our heads back and we have to turn our eyes away from the front. But this car's constantly detecting all the surroundings through sensors, so they can change lanes without losing sight of the road. We believe this will make driving safer than humans. I'm Charles Philadelphia.
And Nissan has announced its chief executive, Makoto Uchida, is stepping down, giving up the post after Nissan reported dismal financial results, projecting a $540 million loss for this fiscal year. Ivan Espinosa, the company's chief planning officer, taking over. Townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2.
The deuce.
Of Mornings with Mike Winters, right here on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Tuesday, everybody.
Yes, welcome to it.
It is sunny. Actually, it looks quite nice out right now. It's clouds less. They're very wispy.
Yeah.
And
they're out there blowing with the dust.
But yeah, pretty nice out.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little Chile, 35.
Chile. Yeah, it's gonna warm up quite nicely. It's hopefully gonna stay relatively calm today.
Well, they say patchy blowing dust, but 10 to 15 mile an hour wind. So who knows? I don't know. I'm giving up trying to speculate.
Oh yeah, I refuse to argue with the weather. I'm just gonna let the weather.
I'm just thinking like 3:30 today. I'll look up. And say, there you go, little dust. It's patchy and blowing.
You know, I close my eyes only for a moment, then the moment's gone.
I don't know. When you said close, I went to the Ozzy Lita Ford mashup. I close my eyes forever.
You ever have a moment where you realize you don't remember the words to a song unless you sing it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I can't say. I can't.
Because I was like, I don't remember the next line to that song. And I'm like, all my dreams pass before my eyes of curiosity.
But then on that song, you got to go to the old school version with Will Ferrell.
No.
When Blues Funeral.
Mm-hmm. Only for a moment, then the moment's gone. Yeah. You're my boy, Blue. You're my boy.
Blue's not really with us anymore.
No,
right?
It's so funny. He played the old guy for like the last 30 years of his life.
Yeah.
He was always that one guy you remember seeing in that thing.
I feel like he was in a bunch of Sandler movies.
He was in a bunch. Do you remember the movie? Do I remember the movie? I just remember the line. It's where he's the old man sitting on the front porch, and was it Road Trip? It might have been a Road Trip, where he's like, "You gonna share some of that sweet stinky weed, old man?" I cannot think of it, but it was oh, you know what? Maybe that was Talladega Nights.
I'm about to say, was that Talladega Nights? Was he the dad?
It might have been.
He
was the grandpa. Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah.
Like
he
man.
played old man in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. That does, with the way the accent you say it in. That's
it was the kid. It's the kid. He's on the front porch because you're going to share some of that.
Texas Ranger.
Yeah, you're going to share some of that sweet stinky weed, old man. It's really funny now to know that one of them is in
Guy Penrod's
Penrod's band. That's a very odd trajectory.
I think he's the older of the two. I can't remember.
Well, one of them's not with us anymore.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I figured it was Talladega Nights. Once I said the line, I'm like, that was one of the kids from the movie.
Yeah, I think he's the older of the two. The one that is the guitarist with Guy Penrod. How much you selling that weed for, old man? Yeah. Yeah, I think you might be confusing that line, and then you mashed up some of Reese Bobby's line.
Yeah.
The sweet stanky weed. was like I think the way you said it, that feels like a Reese Bobby line in that movie. Not. But
which one of the Talladega Nights kids died? Houston Tumlin. He was the one who played. Oh, yeah, right. Well, because one is Walker, one was Texas Ranger, and one passed away like 2 years ago.
I think Texas Ranger was his guy.
Yeah, wow. Houston Tumlin dies at 28. But I don't remember which one he was.
Yeah.
But the point is, the other one is in Guy Penrod's band, and that's just really funny to me.
Well, he's also in his own band. And I think the Guy Penrod is like a
side project?
Yes. I think they explained it at the concert.
Weirdly, his other band, death metal.
Yeah, right.
Paints his face up, whole thing. There's a bloodletting ritual at the end of it.
It's actually a Kiss tribute band.
Yeah. But we couldn't get the license to tribute Kiss, so we tribute Mini Kiss. We're a full-sized Mini Kiss tribute band. We just perform on our knees.
We're a tribute band for Mini.
I couldn't get the rights to impersonate Gallagher, so I'm a Gallagher 2 impersonator.
Or that, what was that McDonald's band? It was like I think it was like I want to feel like it was a death metal band, but it's all McDonald's theme songs.
Well, maybe that.
And
but
they kind of did it like a Sabbath or a Slayer version.
That could be. I'll have to look that one up. There's a band called O'Killy Dokilly.
Yeah.
Which is every member of this like death metal band dresses like Ned Flanders.
I've seen them. Yes. I've seen their stuff. Yes. I think we watched it together one time.
I think so. Yeah. Death metal McDonald's. Rock and roll McDonald's. Death metal.
I seem to remember something, but they had like the lead singer is kind of in this very dark Ronald McDonald costume. It's kind of, I don't remember. And it may
Mac Sabbath.
Mac Sabbath. That's it. Mac Sabbath.
That's great.
That's
it's the lead singer, I'm guessing, is an unholy Ronald McDonald, and the rest of the band is Mayor McCheese with horns coming out of his mouth, the Hamburglar, but all gothed out, and then the Grimace with an evil look on his face.
Yeah.
That's
I want to be a
fantastic.
Mac Sabbath tribute band. Mac Sabbath. As soon as you said it, I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
Mac Sabbath.
Mac Sabbath. My personal favorite of all those of the crossovers is, and you'll remember this one because we played this on the old Mix show, but Hayseed Dixie,
the
AC/DC tribute band that plays all of their songs in bluegrass.
Yes, that's actually quite.
They were really good.
Quite good, yeah.
Yeah, it's surprising how good AC/DC music translates
to be honest,
to bluegrass.
I'm like, they should just do their own thing. You know what I mean? I think
right.
But that's kind of a thing too, because there's like, I'm pretty sure there's a band that does the same thing with Metallica songs. And they'll turn them all into bluegrass or
and then there's the hybrid of that where the lead singer of a band will break off and do like their songs but like in a completely different way.
Yeah.
Specifically, and I can't remember if it was which one of it broke off, but they did the Running with the Devil, but it was Strumming with the Devil, so it was all like acoustic, countrified like Americana music.
Right.
But I can't remember which one of them did that. But that was...
Was it one of the Van Halen?
Yeah, it was either... I can't remember if it was...
Was it Eddie?
No, I think it might have been Hagar. Let me see.
Oh, okay.
Strumming...
So it was one of the singers.
Yeah. Let's see.
I feel like that's a Hagar.
Oh, it was David Lee Roth. Okay.
Yeah,
David Lee Roth. The southern side of Van Halen.
Okay.
That's... Yeah.
All right. Well, and I could see that because David Lee Roth's a front man at the end of the day.
It doesn't not work.
David Lee Roth can sing, but he's more of a front man than a singer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm not saying he can't sing, but, like if you want, of the two, Hagar is more of the musician.
More the musician, but that being said, I've always preferred the David Lee Roth years because
he's the theatrics.
Those were the more avant-garde Van Halen years.
Yeah. That's... I would argue David Lee Roth, like if you look at frontmen, even today and after, I would say David Lee Roth was a mentor to those, or early, A lot of stuff you see, I would attribute some of that to David Lee Roth. Absolutely. Yeah.
Go back and watch the video for Just a Gigolo. I mean, that's...
Yeah, he was a showman.
He was definitely a showman. For show.
For show. Let's see. We'll see how that works.
This portion of the program brought to you by Max Sabbath. Yes, Max Sabbath, bringing you the best in McDonald's cover band.
Is our guest here? Our guest here?
Rumblings. I'm not sure. Let me
Dr.
check.
Powell's supposed to be here. I thought I heard someone here, but I couldn't tell someone was here. Is anybody here, Roy?
Feel free to answer. Here we go.
Thank you.
He doesn't listen to this show.
All right. Well, we will continue to banter here. Don't forget, we do have playoff basketball from the pit tomorrow as your Roswell Coyotes. They are into the next round after defeating Carlsbad this weekend. They will play at 9:45 tomorrow.
Ooh.
So that means also programming note. Sean will be doing the show tomorrow because I got to go to Lubbock.
So feel free to tune out.
No, we're going to have a great show, but it will end at 9:45 to bring you basketball tomorrow. And then if they win, they will play again, I believe, at 8 o'clock Thursday night. And if they win, then Friday at 8 as well, for the that'll be championship. We will have all the games for Coyotes right here on 106.5 as they go on to the playoff run here. But that first game from the pit will be tomorrow morning at 9:45. Art and Kelly are going to be both going to head to Albuquerque to bring you all the action. So, I was going to also mention Bulldogs are also in. Their first game is at, I want to say 3 tomorrow afternoon. Joby Hotling will be calling their games. You can hear those on our sister station, 990 AM KSVP. By the way, audio only available at ksvptv.com for Coyote action and Bulldog action. Bulldogs in the Bulldog channel, Coyotes in the Coyote channel. We can't bring you video because we're not allowed.
We don't got the rights.
Yeah.
Of course, go Bulldogs, go Coyotes. That being said, I love the meme that I've seen it float around. You've never been a parent until you've secretly rooted for your kid to lose.
I have seen that meme. Like I've never seen it, and then since last Thursday to today, I've seen it approximately 37 times.
It's tournament season, baby.
And the sweet irony is, I actually experienced that this weekend with volleyball and stuff.
Yeah.
You're kind of like after a while, like, all right, just get the point so we can go.
But South Park did, and once again, South Park always nails it, but they did an amazing episode about this where the kids tried to play bad so they could stop having to play baseball, but the other team was playing bad better than they were. So it was just back and forth of them playing and like making the other team look amazing in the process. So it went on, and they ended up going to like the Little League World Series or something.
That's pretty good. But yes, every parent, I think, that has been sitting in the bleachers of some child's sporting event. Yeah, they've had that moment. It's like, especially if there's like tournament weekends and they've been out in the sun all day. And you're like, all right, let's just go.
Like, I know you guys get oranges and waters after this. We don't get that unless we go to concessions.
Right. It's usually something with chili on it. And about the fourth inning, I'm barking that bad boy back up.
Nachos are repeating on me.
Right.
I believe now our guest is
Yes, very good. Unless Roy's working on his ventriloquism.
He's really been throwing his voice at pro levels these days.
He's so good now. I mean, where's the scouts that scout for those things? Get in here and watch them. But let me give you the rundown for this hour of the show. We'll take a look at the weather here in just a few minutes here. Then we're going to have Dr. Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell join us, give us an update on what they've got going on there. Later on in the hour, also get you up to date with news and all the other good stuff, too. Before we do that, though, let's go ahead and get you up to date on the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead, so we will stay sunny and warm today, but the wind will be kicking up a little bit, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Overnight looks clear, down to a low of 40, and then gusty again on Wednesday. Watch out for some blowing dust on the roadways. We'll be sunny, and our afternoon high in the mid-70s, wind gusting to 40. Windy again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 35 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 26%. Winds currently out of the south at 3 miles per hour. They do say we could see some patchy blowing dust after 3 today. Sunny and warm, highs near 80, 79 degrees officially. Winds will be out of the north 5 to 10 this morning, picking up out of the southwest 10 to 15 for the afternoon. Now, that's the part that's baffling. 10 to 15 is not really windy for us. I wouldn't even call it breezy. That's just a day. So I don't know. We'll see. If you after 3 today, if you see some dust, there it is, patchy blowing dust. So look for it. Tonight, mostly clear. Overnight low of 42. Southwest winds at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Now Wednesday, a proper windy blowing dust day, the way the Lord intended. We're looking at areas of blowing dust for the afternoon tomorrow. Sunny and a high of 73. Winds will be out of the southwest early, 10 to 20 miles per hour. Later increasing out of the northwest, 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Areas of blowing dust continue into Wednesday evening, mainly before 9 p.m. Mostly clear with an overnight low of 38. Winds will be out of the west, 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour, decreasing down to 5 to 15 after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny, 77 for a high. Winds will be out of the southwest, 15 to 20. However, could see wind gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. Thursday night, they are tacking on a 20% chance of some rain showers after midnight. Partly cloudy with an overnight low of 41. Friday, patchy blowing dust and windy. A little cooler, high of only 61. And then for the weekend, mostly sunny and breezy on Saturday, high of only 59. And then Sunday, we're looking at sunny skies, highs back up near 70, 69 officially there. So, all right, it is 8:22. We're going to take a 3-minute break, and then Dr. Powell is going to join us from Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell, on the other side. Don't go away. You're listening to Mornings with Mike Winters.
Hi, Chef Anthony Noble here with the Valley Cafe at 801 West Brasher. We love serving you our delicious meals for lunch and dinner. The next time you're in on Monday or Tuesday, bring the family and take advantage of our kids' dinner special. With the purchase of an adult meal, you get a kids' meal for 20% off. That's right. Get the kids fed, save a little money, and enjoy what I got cooking in the kitchen. Come visit us at 801 West Brasher in the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell. We have it all. Come taste and see.
Don't forget, you can also find the Valley Cafe on our website at toasttab.com/Valley Cafe. Also on DoorDash, Grubhub, and Uber Eats.
Double up days are back at Roswell Honda, and that means double your down payment. $500 becomes $1,000. $1,000 becomes $2,000. Up to $2,000 means $4,000 towards your next new or pre-owned vehicle, like a 2020 Chevy Silverado priced under $30,000, a 2022 Dodge Charger SXT slashed to under $24,000, or a 2016 Ford F-150 priced under $20,000. Double up and save during double up days on now at Roswell Honda, 2177 West 2nd.
Are you ready to succeed? The health education programs at ENMU Roswell can set you up for success with a wide variety of courses such as emergency medical services, fire science, medical assisting, nursing, and respiratory therapy. ENMU Roswell can prepare you for a rewarding career in the healthcare industry. ENMUR stacks courses in order to get the student into a job as quickly as possible while creating a pathway for more advanced certifications, licenses, and degrees. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell. Success starts here.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
The need for American-made energy is forecasted to increase by over 50% over the next couple of decades. Coyote Willow Energy Park is a resilient, clean, and affordable solution to this increasing demand being planned in Chavez County. Join us at the Coyote Willow Energy Park Open House to learn more about the role Chavez County can play in meeting the need for an increased supply of reliable domestic energy. The project will provide a significant amount of new local job opportunities, millions of dollars of new local tax revenue, and local investments. Plus, it helps lower greenhouse gas emissions and improves grid reliability. It's a win for the local economy and the future of Chavez County. Stop by the Chavez County Joy Center in Roswell on March 27th between 5:30 and 8 p.m. Meet the team, ask questions, and discover how Coyote Willow Energy Park is powering a brighter future for Chavez County. Visit www.coyotewillowep.com to learn more and RSVP.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 25 minutes after 8 o'clock. And joining us in the studio this morning, Dr. Sean Powell, President, Eastern New Mexico University here in Roswell. Good morning, sir. How are you doing today?
Good morning. Doing very well.
Good deal. How's life at the campus this morning?
Well, things have been good, especially with the weather yesterday, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
It's really a nice weather day yesterday, but hopefully we won't get back into some of that stuff we had last week.
Yeah, I don't think you want the haboob. It doesn't. It's not good for campus life when a haboob goes rolling through the courtyards and everything.
Right. I don't. That's not good for any life. I don't think. That was
no. But as far as like the facilities, everybody building, because there's a few old buildings or two out in the south at the base, the whole base property. But ENMU, they've done a lot of renovations, a lot of work, but there's still a few buildings or two out there that have seen a lot of days out there.
Well, and speaking of that, I did want to just say that we have been working with local contractors, and one of the local contractors just started yesterday the demolition for the nurse expansion program.
Great.
We're remodeling some space inside.
Nice. Which,
to bring in
anytime
more
it's a construction site, that just kicks up a little dust anyway. So,
but we have some local contractors working on that project.
Good.
And then we've got a walkway improvement project that'll be starting pretty soon, and then putting in some fire sprinkler systems. So those are some projects.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and a lot of this stuff, when we're not in the bond season, but when we are, that's a lot like the automotive remodel that you guys did a few years ago, the welding stuff that's going on, the remodels there, like you said, the nursing, these are all, and the security lights and some of that stuff, all that's thanks to people voting on the bonds and stuff. That's why we tell you to vote on these things. Now you're seeing the fruit of that labor here.
And that last GEO bond, like we've talked about, we really appreciate all the support of everyone in the community. It did pass for the aviation maintenance building expansion. And like we've talked about in past times, so it's back at the legislature, and now we're one more day they'll come and they'll say, okay, we can sell the bonds, and that'll be the end of the legislative process in that. But that, these are 3 or 4 year projects from the time you propose them until you get the money and then get the planning done. So.
This is why we say everything in government was slow. It's glacial. That's how things move. That you can't just have an idea and knock it out the next day. Not with government involvement. You can't do that. And that's so. But this is all part of the checks and balances, and this is we have this. This is the reason we don't. Ideally, if it's done properly, big ifs. This is how you keep the ridiculous from getting done and the things that are truly needed getting done. So you got to let the process play out to get that to happen. So, but if you're expecting speed, then you're going to be waiting a while.
I totally agree with you. And we're just in the process for the next GEO bond campaign. We'll do those presentations this coming summer, and we'll present those projects to our community college board and the board of regents pretty quick and get the approval to move forward to hearings this summer. And then it would be for the 2026 election that we're proposing things this summer.
So when the committees get together and are kind of deciding what these future, you have to be very forward thinking, because ideally you're thinking, now what we're looking for is a project that we're hoping we're not going to see within the next 5 to maybe 10 years before we actually see what we're hoping, the actual thing we're looking for here. So you have to be a little forward thinking. It's kind of like, well, and obviously that's, with what we automotive and nursing, because you're always looking and say, like, these are programs that are going to get nothing but bigger. So, those are pretty Yeah, easy. Yes, we're going to need more mechanics. We're going to need more air crews. We're going to need more medical field folks. Yeah, these will never not be needed products and people in the industry.
And as we do the planning, those concerns that you raised, looking forward to seeing what the career fields are going to be, looking what the community demands are for jobs, we want to make sure that we're meeting those student needs so they have adequate facilities to train in and do their educational programming and then be able to go out to the workforce in a given field.
Well, it's kind of like you look at things like drones. Like 30 years ago, people wouldn't even conceptualize, go to college for drone and things. And now, that's not only is it a thing, but it's a needed thing because there's so much technical work done with drones today that you need people that are experts on this kind of stuff and all that things. And they make good money, by the way. When they go fixing things like those wind turbines and all that, they're using drone technology to do all. They'll send them up in those things to do all that. So it's a very, very big industry now to work drones and all that. So that's the kind of stuff we're talking about.
And speaking of drones, in our workforce training, Chris Bullard, our director of workforce training, does have drone classes that are being scheduled. And if people are interested in participating in those, these are classes that we're using money the state provided for workforce training. And those drone classes are one of the areas that we're working on.
Yeah. But that's the kind of stuff we're talking about. You guys going to have to stay, because I'm going to take a stab 30 years ago or whatever. They're probably thinking, no, we don't class for drones. What are you talking about? You mean like those things at Radio Shack? They kind of like remote control cars? Is that what we're talking about? No.
Chris has been very active and forward thinking. But some of the industries, and I'm just going to say, we offer free CDL training.
Yeah.
Folks need to show up and they can come in. And I say free. I think it's a $500 cost for the 5-week program, but you can get your CDL license from that.
And that's just it. Once you have that, you can write your own ticket. There are countless companies in the oil field, out of the oil field. You have a CDL license, and then there's the beauty of it too. It goes where you go. So if you're like, if you want to stay here, great. You're going to have plenty of job opportunities. But if you decide to go somewhere else, CDL drivers are needed everywhere. Truckers, anybody that can haul. And then if you can get those hazmat endorsements and the other things above that, you can really write your own ticket on things like that. So if you're looking for a career field that you'll never have trouble finding work, CDL is not a bad way to go.
And that's just an example of the mission of a community college where we want to meet student needs, and then we also want to look at community needs and match the two together.
Yeah.
So the CDL training that Chris is providing through the Workforce Training Office, and then also we have, like we indicated, the drone training. We have some safety training that's through OSHA that's being offered. So there's just many opportunities out at the campus outside of academics.
Yeah, career-specific training things. So if you're needing, and that's the thing we always talk about. It's as this university is to meet the needs of its community it serves. And so if you are looking for the traditional 4-year degree plan, yes, we can help you through through the whole Eastern New Mexico University platform. We can get you started right here. If you need to finish up that bachelor's, we'll send you right up the road to Portales there to finish up to do that. And you can do most of that online. So things like that. If you're, like you said, looking to just get to the next level in your career, like if it's in the medical field or like you said, safety training, you're the quality inspector at the office and you're looking for the next trainings to get your certifications and more pay, more things. Eastern New Mexico University Roswell's geared up just to do that kind of thing. And also, if you're just looking for personal growth, you're retired, I'm not out looking to pursue a degree or nothing, but I've always wanted to take some art, or I've always wanted to do some history classes and things that I never really caught when I was in my younger time. And now I got some time on my hands. I'd like to take an art class, or I'd like to take a history class, or a literature class, or a PE class. I get in shape. I think I'll take some of the PE classes out at the college there. That'll help me out. The college is there for you to do that too. That's the beauty of it. So come take advantage of it.
And I just want to mention you talked about a 4-year degree, and so ENMU Portales Alumni Association is hosting an event at the Anderson Museum on March 21st they did an assessment of where all the alums live from Eastern Portales and the state, and Roswell is the second.
Yeah.
In terms of population density.
Yeah, we actually talked
with
with some of the folks there last week. Yes, it's going to be I wish I had the flyer from me, the 21st at Anderson Museum there.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock, and they're going to have the chancellor there, and they're kind of it's called state of the state kind of thing, state of the campus kind of thing.
State of the university.
State of the university, that's what it is. And so they're kind of talking about some of the upgrades, renovations, some of the work, kind of very similar to what's done out here at NMUR. They're doing similar work out at the Portales campus, the main campus, I guess you could say, and so they really talk. And of course, they also want to focus on talking about how all of the campuses are part of Eastern New Mexico University. If it's whether here in Roswell or the satellite campus in Ruidoso or the main campus in Portales, it's all Eastern New Mexico University. Roswell, we're one family, one organ. So everything is you can't find it at this campus, but by golly, we'll get you over to the other campus.
And that's been a consistent message with Chancellor Johnston since he came from Texas about a little more than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
He's really emphasized the one Eastern approach, and we have many students who will finish their associate degree with us and then transfer to Portales and get their bachelor's degree.
And that's a great way to go, and it's perfect too, because and this is what I think, between all of the campuses, they're offering everything for anybody that could want something. If you have, I get it. There's going to be a kid right out of high school and it's like, no, I want the full, join a fraternity. I want to, do the whole campus experience. Then head on up to Eastern and Portales, and the beauty of that is you're an hour and a half away, but you can get the full, college experience. But when you need to sneak away for a weekend to get laundry done, or you want actual mom's dinner instead of what's in the cafeteria, then it's a hop, skip, and a jump in the way. But if you got life is busy on you got a family to do all that, then here in Roswell or any of the campuses, you can easily start your path to whatever it is, to a degree or toward certifications to get that promotion, whatever it is that you're trying to pursue.
And that's something you mentioned that, and it's something that we've been talking about, and I've visited with different groups about this in town, and it's the career development ladder, where it balances workforce on one side and experience, and then it has education. And it goes back to the military, at least on the Air Force side, and you remember those CDC courses, the career development courses we used to take, and it laid out a path. Well, I joined the Air National Guard when I was 17, and I went to that technical training, and they presented all this, said, okay, to get promoted, these are the things you have to do, and here's your ladder, and here's how you climb it. I thought everybody had something like that. Yeah. And it took me a lot of years to figure out, hey, folks don't have this information.
It is. It's kind of, they joke about military and things like that, but they do get a lot of things right.
Well, and I met with advisors yesterday because we have a career development ladder that has been developed. It's nothing new.
Sure.
Our copyright. I mean, this idea has been out there in vocational training and military training for a long time. But I just finally came to the realization several years ago that not everybody's had the same experiences that I had, and so they don't know. And it only took me 30 or 40 years to figure this out.
And you know what? You're going to have more of those light bulbs, because I do it too, because they're just things that, you've been just so ingrained with your whole life that you just think everybody experiences that way. And then when you come across something, and I had one of those moments the other day when it's like, well, of course, you've never known, so you never know. If you haven't been there, then how are you supposed to know? And it was one of those, and it was something, I don't remember but it was some similar to just what you're talking about here. And I'm just like, yeah. And then it just dawned on me. It's like, well, if you don't expect, because I'm sure there's things that they're doing that they look at me and like, how do you not know that, dummy? And
yeah,
touche.
Yeah. Well, and we're reaching out, building more relationships with Job Corps. They have new leadership, and we really appreciate the opportunity to work with their students. And one of the students that finished Job Corps did all the electrical programming that they possibly can offer, and he's over with us doing his business programming. He wants to become a licensed electrician and open a business. And so he's working on that 4-year path to get his licensed electrician. And I showed him this career ladder, and I also showed him the electrical engineering technician degree or technology degree that they have at Portales.
Yeah.
Because those EET program graduates up in Portales will go right out into 6-figure jobs, and they'll just be wanted out in industry.
Absolutely. But if he does plan to open his own business, might want to take a couple accounting, bookkeeping classes just so he knows that side of the business too.
Absolutely. And that's what he's doing now is he's studying business. He's got, the entry level materials where he can work, I think, as an apprentice. I'm not familiar enough with all of the terms in the electrical field, but I know that they want to work up and be a journeyman. And he's on that path, and so he's taking those business courses.
Well, hopefully he's got two, because I think from especially that apprentice, you really almost have to get an electrician to take you under your wing and kind of be your, like you said, that mentor apprentice. So I'm hoping he's already kind of lined that up, because that's going to be key to his success too. You can, you guys will give him all the training and they'll know all the stuff, but the person that does the day-to-day job will instill the love or steal the love of that job real quick. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I hope that part is cool. But that's awesome. But that's what we're talking. That's exactly what Eastern New Mexico University, the whole, umbrella system can really help you and show you how to whatever path you're trying to go. We can navigate you to get you there too. And like you said, through these different, think of it as a checklist almost. It's like, okay, you want to go from point A to point B. Here's here's the Google Maps. Turn left here. This is that pathway to that goal. It's literally, that's kind of the Google Map description thing of how to get that job.
I just think there's many opportunities, and we'll be working closely with the community to make sure we see what opportunities are out.
Absolutely.
See what careers are going to be coming, especially with in-car and with the
with the air race
races.
stuff. Yeah, this is going to be a lot of we were actually talking to some of us on the radio. I think you were actually in the chamber meeting. It was mentioned too, and we're it's like there's, if you're an enterprising person, maybe think about getting Lyft driver or things. Start getting those credentials and things, because when the Reno. When the national champion, I gotta stop saying Reno. The national championship air races come here. There's going to be a lot of people, not enough cars and things to get them around into rentals and all that stuff. So, folks, Lyft drivers, whatever, Uber driver, not DoorDash, but Uber. We don't have this stuff, but we're going to start needing that stuff. That's all I'm saying. I think there is the Lyft here, and there's like one guy that does it or something like that. We're going to need more than one guy. Is all I'm saying.
That one driver might be pretty busy.
Right. Exactly. So I'm just saying there's a lot of ways to get hustles, the money hustles for if you're willing to work hard a little bit.
Well, and I know this past Saturday, the Hispano Chamber did a presentation for developing programs and businesses, and Chris Bullard was part of that. Scott Booker from our Small Business Association.
Scott's been on the show a couple times. He's a great. If you're looking to start a small business and you don't know Scott Booker's name, you're not doing it right. Go down and talk to that man.
And he's located in our Arts and Science building right next to what used to be Workforce Solutions, is now Connect America's Jobs, or American Job Connect. They've changed their names and done rebranding.
Yes.
They're right there on our building.
Yeah. It's kind of like I'm still the Workforce Solutions connections. I still can't get those right.
Yeah, America's Job Center, I think, is the new name. So
yeah, but those are valuable resources here. But yeah, with the stuff getting, and this is what we, we got a lot of stuff coming on the horizon here to Roswell, and we as a community have to get ready. And really, Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, that's campus, is integral in that shift, that change, getting us ready to getting us ready for the next thing that's getting ready, and really because just because of the luck of the Irish or whatever, that the campus is sitting on really what's going to be the mecca for Roswell, I think, here between with this air center and everything else. It is the linchpin to Roswell's financial and future. Really is. It really is. And so, and it's kind of cool that Eastern's right here on the cutting edge with it and it's going to be a part in anything that happens, because when the air race community comes in here or any of these other things out at the air center, the ENMUR is going to be either part of the logistics of it happening or adding the trainings that continue or make these things stronger. So it's going to be very much a part of it.
Well, and we are a part of it, and we're happy to be partnering with the EDC, the city, all of the different communities who are bringing the air races to Roswell, and they're going to have pilot qualification courses in May. We'll be hosting them and offering space for their training programs. And then during the races in September, our schedule is to go remote that week. And really, when we look at the number of people that are projected to be here, it's going to be pretty crowded down at the Air Center. And so we're going to go back to more of a remote learning for that time period during that 5 days.
Let the kids focus on their curriculum at home as opposed to navigating a parking spot on the campus of the college, which might not be had that weekend. Well, that week they're here.
and hopefully we're going to gain some revenue from that with the parking operations with the air races.
If you own a plot of land out there around that area, you might just go ahead and build like a 4-story parking garage. You might make a killing.
might be okay to do some work like that.
Absolutely. But folks, the point is we got a lot of stuff coming here, and let Eastern, if you're, is very much a part of it, come be a part of it as well too. If you're trying to, make your personal life better in any way, shape, or form, Eastern New Mexico University is definitely a partner to help you do that. That's what they do.
And we do have enrollment that's going to be starting March 30th. Is that
for summer
and fall?
Okay,
enrollment.
so at the same time you can sign up for both there.
Yes.
Very good.
So summer and fall enrollment will start March 30th, and then the foundation is holding its annual golf tournament fundraiser April 5th, and so that'll be happening out at NIMI.
Very good.
So we appreciate the partnership with the Institute and
the please,
foundation.
We encourage you to sign up. You go to probably the NIMI Pro Shop to sign up teams and things, but if there's still opportunities for T-Box sponsorships or because all that money that they're raising is going back to put kids through college. That's what they do, is help students get their degrees and get their find their path to their futures.
And our foundation provides a lot of scholarship opportunities for our students, and there's just with the Opportunity Scholarship, the Lottery Scholarship here in New Mexico that the state has provided and that the taxpayers kick into. Mm-hmm. I just think as we look at the future, it's really bright for education, higher education in the state, because we have the resources right now that are in place to make sure people can reach those goals. And again, our age range this spring, again, is 14 to 77. I don't know.
I say kids, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It's you get right out of high school till folks that are eligible for Medicaid.
Right. Yes.
So and it's awesome because that's great. Yeah, because what was it last year, or year before? Your guest speaker, is valedictorian the right word?
Graduation speaker.
Graduate speaker was a 77-year-old man. Yes.
That had just finished his associate's degree in aviation maintenance.
Yeah. He'd been doing his whole life, but he never had the paperwork to say he knew what he was doing. Now he's got it.
That's true.
And he was an inspiration for his grandkid, if I remember right.
That's right.
Which makes it even sweeter and even more. So I'm going to take a stab that he inspired a few more people other than his grandchild by doing what he did there. So
yeah, and
that's a cool thing. But that's what Eastern New Mexico University Roswell is. So come check out the website, enmu.edu. Roswell.enmu.edu. Sorry, I think I just gave you the main campus one. Either one will get you there, but Roswell.enmu.edu will get you to the campus website here. Like I said, here in a couple of weeks, you'll be able to start registering for the summer and fall semesters here. If you're first time, you're going to have to get enrolled in the university, which again you can do at Roswell.enmu.edu. I'd highly recommend maybe do there first to read and maybe start filling out the application, then head on down to the campus, talk with the advisors, talk with the folks. They can kind of walk you through the whole process there, get you set up.
And as we always say, the earlier you enroll, the more opportunities you have for those classes.
Yeah.
Because if you wait, the opportunities go
Especially if you want to take a class this summer, because the summer semester is not as big as the spring or fall semesters. Limited amount of classes, limited times of classes, but it is a great opportunity for those that are trying to get their degrees done as quick as possible, and they're thinking, all right, that's another semester. I knock out a few more credit hours here and get that done. But if you want the bigger selection, everything, then the fall we'll have the full catalog campus schedule of work. But now's the time to get enrolled. Now's the time to even start procuring financial aid, because I don't care who you are, where you come from. As soon as you're done saying welcome to the campus and you're officially an enrolled student at Eastern New Mexico University Roswell, walk on over to the financial aid office. Let's start talking about getting FAFSA forms filled out, getting that stuff turned in, and then start let's start shaking the scholarship tree and see if we can find some free money for you.
And again, the state has great support with that opportunity and lottery scholarships.
Absolutely.
And the foundation's a tremendous opportunity as well, because they do really support our campus. So
absolutely. And it's a lot. And then but please, if you want to support the foundation, reach out for the golf tournament there. Again, go to the NMMI Pro Shop if you want to sign up your teams and all that stuff, or contact the main number at the campus. They can direct you to the foundation.
Craig Collins with the foundation director
to get if you want to be a sponsor or more involved in that way. But it's a great thing they do every year, and it's a lot of fun too. If you leave hungry, it's probably your own fault. There seems to be a lot of eating at this tournament.
The foundation doesn't want anyone to leave hungry. That's absolutely true.
I feel like I think it's a thing. I think they want you to get your hands slippery, so like they give you brisket and stuff, so that when the club just starts, you see a lot of guys, their club just flying halfway across because hands are too. I'm just kidding, but it is a lot of fun there too. Sean, Dr. Powell, is there anything we missed that we wanted to make sure we got out to the folks there?
No, just appreciate it, all the support that the community gives to our campus, and we look forward to future opportunities to meet those community needs.
Yeah, come and if you haven't been in a while, come check out the campus. It's a beautiful campus, a lot going on. Come have lunch. Come out and hang out and have lunch one day and just see the campus and just see what it's all about here. Yeah. But check out the website, roswell.enmu.edu. Don't forget, you can follow the several Eastern New Mexico University Roswell Facebook pages to stay abreast on anything. If you're a student, you need to follow, especially, because usually if there's like weather delays or any of that kind of information that needs to get out, usually that's the social media is one of the first things that kind of gets the word out. So just behoove you to be kind of plugged in. Thank you, sir, as always, and we'll see you next time, if not sooner.
Well, thank you very much.
All righty. It is 8:52. Let's pause for news and sports and a little bit of commercials. We'll be back. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley News Update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Amid the current temporary closure of the Roswell Animal Shelter to conduct a thorough cleaning after the discovery of canine distemper among multiple dogs there, local veterinarians are also finding distemper among dogs in the community that have not been in or near the shelter. Because of this, the city is taking a precaution of closing the dog park on North Grand Avenue next to the Wool Bowl. Residents are also urged to avoid interactions between dogs, do not commingle dogs with pets outside your household, and get your pets vaccinated. Eddy County Commissioners are voting to support a project that would store spent nuclear fuel near Carlsbad. This comes as a federal court ruling to block such a facility is under debate by the U.S. Supreme Court. The site has been proposed since about 2017, where as much as 100,000 metric tons of used nuclear fuels sent by rail from power plants around the entire country would be stored. Right now, there is no such waste facility anywhere in the U.S., and spent fuel rods are currently stored near the facilities, mostly in cooling ponds, as they await their final destination. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Today's the first day in Albuquerque for the state girls basketball tournament. We had first-round games over this past weekend. I'd like to give you the rundown of who's playing who and where, but all of the Chaves County teams were ousted back on Friday. Let's give you a recap because all of these teams did have good seasons, and they all made it to the state tournament. Roswell, 14 seed in Class 5A, fell at number 3 Mayfield, 61-38. It was Goddard, 16th seed, playing at number 1 Kirtland Central, and the Broncos won that 68-23. West Las Vegas took care of Dexter. Dexter was the 15th seed. The Lady Dons, the 2nd seed. Final score 66-36. And also on Friday, Gateway Christian, 11th seed in Class 1A. They had a tough time with number 6 Cliff. The Cowgirls won it 40-17. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead, so we will stay sunny and warm today, but the wind will be kicking up a little bit, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Overnight looks clear, down to a low of 40, and then gusty again on Wednesday. Watch out for some blowing dust on the roadways. Will be sunny and our afternoon high in the mid-70s, wind gusting to 40. Windy again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
I'm James Flippin. U.S. stocks sold off in a big way to start off the week yesterday. The recession word rearing its ugly head on Wall Street as even blue chip stocks such as Tesla and Nvidia came under pressure. In fact, the tech-heavy NASDAQ composite down 4% at times throughout the session. Zooming out a bit, this is all about fears over a potential trade war in connection to President Trump's push for tariffs on imports from Canada, Mexico, and China, and that concern spilling over into a broader concern that a potential recession could be in the offing. In fact, President Trump said as much this past weekend as he looks to transform the nation into an America First economy. We mentioned Nvidia, the AI darling chip maker, and e-vehicle giant Tesla. Other names in the so-called Magnificent Seven also saw their share prices dip yesterday, including Google parent Alphabet, and investors rotated into names like Johnson & Johnson and Procter & Gamble, many in the market looking for defensive plays with steady revenue and a dividend. The big story, the worry rippling through Wall Street. The CBOE Volatility Index, the so-called Wall Street Fear Gauge, touched its highest mark since December. With business, I'm James Flippin.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Greg Kelly here with an urgent retirement warning. Even as President Trump stands up to China, billionaires are fleeing Wall Street. But I trust the experts at Colonial Metals Group to help you. So visit freegoldguide.com/Kelly or call 800-655-5186 for your free gold guide on how to bulletproof your IRA and 401k with tax-free gold. You could also qualify for a free home safe and as much as $7,500 in free silver. Once again, that's freegoldguide.com/Kelly.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets. Grab them right now and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and get 3 free chicks, or double up and get 6 free chicks with a 50-pound bag. Plus, bring the kiddos because Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo will be there, and tasty treats from the So Delicious Beverage Buggy. Open 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Friday and 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Come take a peep at Chick Days, March 21st and 22nd at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
On air and online, this is Roswell's home for talk radio, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. The stock market continues to struggle in the aftermath of yesterday's heavy losses. The Dow in particular has taken a hit this morning. The blue chip index has been down well over 550 points at times. President Trump hasn't had much to say about Wall Street's woes.
As Wall Street continued its sell-off to begin the week, the president did not make any public appearances and no public statements about the stock market on Monday. However, he was active on social media, sharing several dozen favorable articles about himself and Republican praise for his leadership. Over the weekend, the president refused to rule out a possible recession, which further spooked investors.
White House correspondent Greg Clugston. A U.S. delegation led by Secretary of State Rubio is meeting with Ukrainian officials in Saudi Arabia. The discussions focus on finding a way to end the 3-year war with Russia. The meeting comes hours after Russian air defenses shot down more than 335 Ukrainian drones over 10 regions overnight. A proposal to fund the federal government for the final half of this federal fiscal year is encountering some opposition.
The proposal, which shifts around some budget lines to increase defense spending by $6 billion and cut domestic spending by $13 billion, was denounced by Democrats. But the bill also drew some ire off Republican Representative Thomas Massey of Kentucky, who said the bill is more of the same old stuff. Massey posted on X, quote, "I'll be a no on the CR this week. It amazes me that colleagues and many of the public fall for the lie that we will fight for another day. President Donald Trump is calling for the proposal to pass." Bernie Bennett in Washington.
Federal judge has ruled that DOJ must start releasing records of its activities, saying the Department of Government Efficiency is likely subject to the Freedom of Information Act. And on Wall Street, the Dow is down 581 points, NASDAQ off 99. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
British officials worry about environmental damage after a cargo ship carrying a toxic chemical hit a tanker transporting jet fuel off eastern England.
The crash set both vessels ablaze, and the fires still burning on Tuesday. Jet fuel from a ruptured tank has poured into the North Sea after the container ship Solong broadsided the fuel tanker MV Stena Immaculate. Scientists say the environmental impact will depend on multiple factors. All but one of the vessel's 37 crew members have been brought to safety. Coast Guards, however, have suspended a search for the missing crew member from the cargo ship late Monday. I'm Charles Dillazesma.
Emergency services say at least a dozen people died, 45 injured when a bus overturned on a highway in the South African city of Johannesburg. Emergency crews have been working to lift the bus back onto its wheels, see if any more victims might be trapped underneath the vehicle. News and analysis, townhall.com. The Supreme Court will weigh in on ownership of a valuable work of art looted by the Nazis.
The justices have revived a case that could decide the ownership of a French Impressionist painting that was once stolen by the Nazis from a Jewish woman. At issue is whether the painting should remain in the hands of a prominent Spanish museum where it now hangs, or with the descendants of the woman. Camille Pissarro's 1897 painting hangs in Madrid's Thyssen-Bornemisza Museum and depicts a rain-swept Paris street. The painting is estimated to be worth tens of millions of dollars. Keith Peters reporting.
Michigan Lieutenant Governor Garland Gilchrist is running to become the state's next Democratic governor. Gilchrist announcing his bid to succeed term-limited Governor Gretchen Whitmer. Gilchrist became Michigan's first black lieutenant governor back in 2019, and he's currently in his second term in office. More on these stories at townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder, and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm, I'm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The abolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. Welcome. I'm delaying because I think right to hour number 3.
Tres Inviernos.
Of Mornings with Mike
What
Winters.
he said.
Right here on 106.5 Roswell Talk FM. I was like, I think Sean needs an assist.
Called from the room. Stall. I have a bullhorn over there. Next time I'm just going to do it from
Oh,
the
I
other
didn't hear
room.
stall. I didn't know who you were yelling at.
No, the top of the hour when I was trying to put, or when I should have been putting a track in, we're finalizing plans. Roy and I are carpooling this weekend to El Paso.
Oh, for wrestling?
For wrestling, yeah.
Nice.
First time I've ever been to a live event, but TNA Wrestling is doing a series of tapings.
Nice.
Saturday night down there.
Nice. Cool.
Looking forward to it.
So,
the only problem, I'm not real familiar with that brand. Like, I know many of the talent that work in TNA, but I don't watch the product regularly, so I'm kind of bringing Roy along as like, hey, what's going on with this storyline?
He's going to Sherpa.
Yeah.
So, how does assigned seats or just like open seating?
Yeah,
how does that work?
It's actually funny. We're Jocelyn's going too. She's actually a different carpool, but we're going to be in the section. So in pro wrestling, they have what's called the hard cam, which is the main camera that the performers play to. From what I've gathered, we're on the side. Here's the hard cam. We're just off the hard cam, basically in the row in section F. So we'll be able to be seen from camera.
Okay.
But if they do like any crowd work, like if they go out to fight in the crowd or anything, there's potential that we'll be seen there.
It could be.
And the way
showing you like, yeah, beat them.
And the way that TNA works is they do a series of like 2, maybe 3 episodes worth of matches all at once. They film them all at once and then they do the episodes. They've done that. That's their production strategy. So there's potential for my dumb face to show up on 1, if not more episodes.
That would be cool.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
That would be fun. You gonna do wardrobe changes?
I was I'm thinking about a crazy sign, like some kind of something to kind of stand out. Like
see, now it helps if you knew the characters better.
Yeah, it does.
But
there's also other ways to do it. Like if you hold up a sign that says something to the effect of like Final Fantasy VII is original is better than Elden Ring or whatever. Those kinds of signs tend to stand out.
Very random.
One sign I've seen a lot
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not original anymore. It's like insert
John 3:16. I've seen that one.
or Austin 3:16. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh yeah, for wrestling. Yeah. But at football games, it's the
Yeah.
the actual Bible quote.
Look it up. It says, the Lord said, "Go Sox."
Yeah.
What?
Or like insert your wrestler name here. Eats corn the long way. You know that one I've seen a long.
Great. I don't think I've seen that, but that's funny.
I've seen that one a lot.
Eats corn the long way.
Well, now then so and so eats tacos from the top.
Oh. You want me to hop over this console and just punch you about the throat, right?
That's a visceral sign for you. I think that's your sign.
Yeah.
Here's your sign.
That would be good. Moose eats tacos from the top down.
I think there's your sign.
Actually, I think Moose eats tacos all in one bite. That is a behemoth of a man. But yeah, it'll be
and his fingers.
It'll be interesting. Like right now, currently, and this will blow your mind. The current TNA tag champions are the Hardys, Matt and Jeff, from like 20 years ago. Hardys,
those Hardys,
yeah, those Hardys, still at it. Not moving as nimbly as they used to.
See, back when they first came out, they probably joked about the Hardy Boys. Like the books back in the day, but now no one knows what those are.
Yeah.
So that joke doesn't.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, the book series boys? Yeah.
Where's Nancy Drew? What?
I'm based on the history of how they've wrestled throughout the last 30 years. I'm surprised they can even move, let alone still go. It's impressive.
I pretty much feel that way about any wrestler that was in the wrestling in the 80s that wrestles nowadays.
Sting is another one of those that you're like, how? This dude's jumping off balconies. He's in his mid 50s.
Right.
No, I'm sorry, early 60s.
I mean, to be honest, guys like Steve Austin, I'm like, how are you still doing it?
He doesn't.
Well,
like 2 years ago, he did one. But
even then, or even Hulk for that matter. Yeah. I couldn't do that. Or
Hulk actually says, and this might actually be true. There's a lot of everything else he says is a complete lie, but he has said he's 3 inches shorter than he was in the 80s because his spine is so compressed from years or decades of doing the big leg.
You know what? I'd buy that.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I'm like, yeah, that tracks.
I'd buy that. Yeah. I can't imagine, some of these guys. Like I don't even know how they get out in bed anymore. What's his name? Mankind, dude.
That is.
Yeah, how does that guy even?
That blows my mind.
Yeah, Nick Foley. How does that guy get up out of bed in the morning?
It blows my mind how he still moves.
That guy's taken over the years. I'm just like, how does that guy even? It's like navigate life at this point.
There's another dude you probably never heard of. But there's this dude Darby Allin. He literally is. He'll throw himself down a staircase, which is what he did to write himself off TV so that he could go climb Mount Everest. This dude's he's
also kind of a skinny, like small guy.
Yeah.
So he lacks like the blubber that Mick Foley had, for the padding.
He looks like basically your average member of Jackass, essentially.
Well, and if he's flexible, that's your friend more than strength.
That's true.
If you're, it's kind of that logic that like drunk drivers, they seem to do well in accidents because they don't tense up. I think there's something to that.
They flip flop,
like wrestlers that are more flexible and more limber are gonna probably have less pain and less issues than the meatheads. That you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh, for sure.
Just a hunch, or just a hypothesis. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Probably should get the hour going here. Let me give you le rundown for the hour of the show. We'll get you up to date with the weather and all that here in just a few minutes. Then we're going to be joined here in studio by Roswell Fire Chief Steve Chavez, also Deputy Chief Derek Washachek here to talk safety and stuff as always, but really kind of urging folks about getting over, move right when you see the emergency vehicles
every time
coming up on the highway, especially on Main Street. They're always going to be coming down the left lane, so get to the right. They always will be in the left lane. If you're especially when you get into these, lunchtime or the traffic rushes that we sort of kind of have here on Main Street sometimes. And everybody and their uncles on Main Street going 30 miles an hour, getting over to the right so the EMS vehicles can do what they got to do. So But anyway, we'll talk all about that with Chief and Deputy Chief Derek here in just a few.
It's really the time to bring it up. But also, when you're driving down Main Street and the block ahead of you goes to a red light and the traffic has filled up both lanes to capacity, do not pull into the intersection to wait in line. Wait at the previous light or the previous intersection so as when that light goes red, my light goes green, I don't have to veer around a seesaw of traffic.
Most people get it, but there's always that one person.
Oh, you saw me. You saw me lose my mind the other day on 4th Street because some numbskull doesn't know how to interact at an intersection.
Every time it's happened to me, I just stand there and give them the hard stare the whole time and give them that dirtiest of looks.
Afterwards,
you realize how stupid. I'm waiting because you're stupid.
I pulled back because I had to come back to the station, so I pulled back in. I'm like, Mike's gonna give me so much crap for that. He never did. You never brought it up. To your credit,
I empathize.
I honked. I was flipping off, and I set off a series of honks after that, which was great. Everybody was like, "Why are we honking?"
I just honked too.
I'm here.
That's people.
But please,
since we're complaining about things, I'm going to do one, and then we got to move on.
All right. Should have brought it up, but I just.
But this is one that a public service announcement. Okay, we all live here in town, right? We all drive all over town. We all should know at this point. For the last 2 weeks, there is a stretch of Main Street right in front of the convention center where they closed one of the lanes. It's been like this for 2 weeks. It's probably going to be like this for 2 more. I have no idea.
Right.
We all know it's there and it's coming now. Can we stop waiting to the last dang minute to get over to the left lane so we don't all sit there waiting for you dummies to wait it to the last minute to get... It's happened every time. I'm like, look, I'll give you a day or two. But this is 2 weeks now.
Right.
Get with the program, people. We all know it's going to be closed.
But side streets, people, come on.
Get over in advance here.
No, counterpoint?
Yeah.
That should be done by now.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
It doesn't matter. There's a downward slope. Okay, I don't know what's going to be there until that downward slope appears.
But you know now.
You come from the south. You don't see it.
And that's what we're saying. We understand. It's an unseen. It's like you go in and you don't see it at first.
We all know it's there.
Been a fortnight now.
Yes, we all know.
It's been a minute now. It shouldn't be there anymore. Is what I'm saying.
Prepare like it's there, and then one day you're going to go down and say, "Oh, it's gone," and then you'll be happy. But in the meantime, prepare like it's there. Can we all do that, please? Tell your friends. Start that Facebook post up, so we can just all get on the same page. By the time we get there, we'll already be over in the left lane.
All right, now that we've all got our traffic qualms out of the way.
That's right. I'm spent. All right, Deputy Chief going to join us here in just a bit, but first your weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead, so we will stay sunny and warm today, but the wind will be kicking up a little bit, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Overnight looks clear, down to a low of 40, and then gusty again on Wednesday. Watch out for some blowing dust on the roadways. We'll be sunny, and our afternoon high in the mid-70s, wind gusting to 40. Windy again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 44 degrees here in Roswell. Humidity is at 23%. Winds currently out of the north at 6 miles per hour. Expect some patchy blowing dust this afternoon after 3 p.m. However, the winds aren't going to be as bad today as tomorrow and the rest of the week. Sunny and warm, highs near 80 today, 79 officially. North winds 5 to 10 this morning. Shifting to the southwest, increasing 10 to 15 for the afternoon. So to me, that's not bad, but I guess it's enough to maybe kick up some patchy blowing dust. Mostly clear tonight, overnight low of 42, southwest winds 10 to 15 miles per hour. Wednesday, full on, blowing dust day. We do have a fire weather watch that's going to kick in beginning at 9 a.m. tomorrow, remaining in effect through 9 p.m. tomorrow evening. We are looking at areas of blowing dust for the afternoon tomorrow. Sunny and 73. Winds out of the southwest 10 to 20 early. Later shifting to the northwest and an increasing 20 to 30, gusting as high as 40 miles per hour. Areas of blowing dust continue into Wednesday evening till about 9 p.m. Otherwise, mostly clear with an overnight low of 38 degrees. Winds out of the west 15 to 25, gusting as high as 35 miles per hour. Those winds will drop down 5 to 15 miles per hour after midnight. Thursday, mostly sunny, 71 for a high. Winds out of the southwest, 15 to 20, gusting as high as 30 miles per hour. 20% chance of rain Thursday night. Don't wait up for it. It's after midnight. Partly cloudy, overnight low of 41. Patchy blowing dust for you Friday. Otherwise, sunny and 61 and windy. And then Saturday, mostly sunny and breezy, high of only 59. Back into the upper 60s, pushing 70 on Sunday under sunny skies. All right, it is 19 minutes after 9. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break, and then we will talk with Fire Chief Steve Chavez and Deputy Chief Derek Washachek here on the other side from the Roswell Fire Department. That's on the other side. Don't go away.
Edge Safety and Services LLC in Artesia, New Mexico has an immediate opening for a safety technician. Position requires a clean driving record and must be able to pass a drug and alcohol screen. Edge Safety offers great pay with IRA benefits and employer contribution towards health benefits. Please email resumes to edgecoding@yahoo.com or apply in person at 402 West Main Street inside the Edge Safety and Services facility. Edge Safety and Services LLC is an equal opportunity employer.
Are you ready to succeed? Earn your FFA certification through ENMU Roswell's Aviation Maintenance Technology Program. ENMU Roswell has the only FFA Part 147 airframe and power plant school in Southeast New Mexico. Receive commercial and general aviation training, hands-on training with Operation Aircraft, Boeing commercial experience, advanced composite repair training, and more. And ENMU Roswell offers in-state tuition for veterans too. Learn more about this exciting program on campus or online at roswell.enmu.edu. Eastern New Mexico University, Roswell. Success starts here.
Chick Days are back at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply, Friday and Saturday, March 21st and 22nd. Buy a 25-pound bag of Purina Start and Grow and get 3 free chicks, or double up and get 6 free chicks with a 50-pound bag. Plus, bring the kiddos because Runyon Ranch Petting Zoo will be there, and tasty treats from the So Delicious Beverage Buggy. Open 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. on Friday and 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Saturday at 1105 East 2nd in Roswell. Come take a peep at Chick Days, March 21st and 22nd at Roswell Livestock and Farm Supply.
Some wounds need expert care to heal properly. At Artesia General Hospital's Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center, we use advanced treatments like hyperbaric oxygen therapy to help chronic wounds heal faster. If you or a loved one has a wound that won't heal, call 575-736-8235 today and take the first step toward recovery.
Whether you're a homeowner, a landscaper, or a contractor, we all have reasons to dig. If you're planning to dig, this is just a friendly reminder that locating underground utilities is important. It's actually the law. Call 811 3 days before you dig. New Mexico Gas Company is one of the utilities that will come out free of charge to mark our underground lines up to the meter, so you'll know what's below. We're New Mexico Gas Company, and our priority is keeping you safe. That's why we're here. Learn more at nmgco.com.
I'm only going a short distance. I never wear a seatbelt for that.
Seatbelts are too constraining, so I don't want to wear it.
My pickup truck will protect me. Why do I need a seatbelt?
It's a fact. Seatbelts save lives. Whether you're going to the corner store or traveling across the state, wear your seatbelt. Whenever you get into a vehicle, be a good example for your passengers and buckle up. Seatbelts are there to protect you and your passengers, so wear them. Remember, if you buckle up, they'll buckle up. Sponsored by NMDOT and aired in cooperation with the NMBA and this station.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 23 minutes after 9 o'clock. And joining us in studio this morning, our Deputy Fire Chief for the Roswell Fire Department, Derek Washachek.
Yes, sir.
Did I say it right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, good deal. Morning. Because Chief's always Chief.
Yes, sir.
Can you say Deputy Chief, or how do they, when at the firehouse? Mm-hmm. What do they call you? Like, is there a nickname? Because it's always Chief.
No.
So is Deputy Chief? Is it just Derek, or do they just?
No, for the most part, it's Chief. You
get Chief as well.
Yeah, it's kind of like Coach when you're coaching football or whatnot.
Gotcha,
everybody's coach.
Yeah. So once you get to Chief level, it's Deputy or
Chief,
the Chief.
Yeah,
you're Chief. So
that's
right. Welcome, Chief.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate
it. So, first off, kind of before we kind of want to talk about the subject here, I do want to kind of pick your brain about recruiting things real quick. How's the fire department look? I'm sure you're always looking for qualified candidates to join the fire department. But as far as levels right now and staff, and how are you guys looking?
Right now, we're 14 people short, so
Okay.
we're quite a few personnel short right now. We just had a whole bunch of people retire, and
that
move
always
on.
that's the war of
Yeah.
attrition. It's true in any department.
And so we're digging into the high schools pretty hard this year. We're really looking at changing our recruiting program a little bit and looking for more of the getting to the football programs, the baseball organizations.
Well, it is a physical job, and
Exactly,
generally you want athletic type people to do it. So
we're getting into the gyms, and setting up tables and booths in some of the gyms and passing out flyers saying, "Hey, come on out,"
Sure.
And,
but it's a rewarding career. If there's folks that are looking to want to make a difference in their community and a great job that and that loves the camaraderie that is a firefighter, that's kind of the if in your first responder service type jobs, law enforcement, EMS, fire, you really build bonds with the people, especially fire. You're living together for periods of times and things, so you get to know people pretty good.
Yeah, that's right.
When you spend 48 hours with them.
I'm a little bit biased, but I think the fire department's the best career choice a young man can make. You do spend a third of your life at the fire station, 33%, so.
But it's that family is what I mean.
That's
Is,
right.
And so when you have problems in life, your fire family's always rallying around you and always kind of, being that. And that's what I love about that mindset is if you're a person, especially if you're young and trying to find your niche in the world and or if you're far away from home, you don't have a lot of, fire hose and stuff. You're tuckered out by them.
Right. They're men.
I'm guessing most of your workouts don't have to be at the gym. It's usually training for fire.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Training for fire is a different type of workout.
Sure.
It's not CrossFit. It's not strength training. There's nothing like it. But you get it figured out once you've been on for a couple of years.
But that being said, I imagine when there's downtime at the firehouse, they're usually in there bench pressing and working out.
For the most part. We're either working out or eating. It's one of the
Or cleaning.
Yeah, that's right.
Now, don't get me wrong. As the new people, you will be intimately knowledgeable on every crack and crevice of a firehouse because you're going to be cleaning it at some
Amen
point.
to that. We take cleanliness as a big deal in our organization.
Sure.
We look at it as people allow us into our homes to help them out during their emergency situations. And when we walk into the door, it's not, they don't see the resume that we have on paper. Our resumes are look and appearance and professionalism.
Sure. Well, and let's just face it. Clean, serviceable equipment is going to be the equipment that saves your life when you need it most.
Amen to that.
If you're not maintaining it, if you're not keeping it clean, that's when issues happen because the last thing you want is when your guys are in the middle of a fire or in the middle of a very tense situation. And that's when the equipment stops working.
Right. Yeah. Got to check it every day.
But that being said, if folks are interested, I imagine probably through the city's website, you can start the application process there.
Yeah, I think Chief Garcia he's our training officer. I think he was talking about leaving it open through the rest of the school year.
Okay. But you can always probably come down to the local firehouse and just chit-chat with any of the firefighters and just say.
We do ride-alongs, do all kinds of stuff. We'll come get a taste of it before you decide to make a career out of it, but
it's not for everybody, but for folks that get into it, that love it, you're going to really love it.
It's a challenging career.
And it's a lifestyle. It's
Yes,
not.
sir.
This isn't a 9-to-5er. This is a lifestyle.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And it's and this is back kind of what I was talking about, the camaraderie, the family.
Yes, sir.
Everyone's watching. Everybody's sick on this.
Yeah, I think we're looking at having our next tryout somewhere just post graduation, probably early June.
Good deal.
That's kind of what we're looking at right
And by the way, I know you guys do a lot of competitions with the other fire departments.
Oh,
and stuff.
yeah.
You guys hold your own on those
Oh,
things.
yeah, we do. We take plenty of titles. Yeah.
So, you've heard of those firefighter Olympics, fireman Olympics.
That's right.
They go all out on some of those.
We are the department to beat.
That's right. So again, come apply, come by a firehouse or check out online there the application process and start that going.
Yes,
here.
sir.
But that being said, we really want to, talk to the public about some, health and safety tips, things that would help make our community better, but also allow our EMS, our law enforcement, our first responders to do their jobs better. And it really is, right of way when, it's not a matter of if or, it's going to be, when it happens. You're going to be down a road here, particularly, like a main street or a busy thoroughfare in our town. And there's going to be a time where you're going to see an ambulance or a fire truck or a police officer, and they're going to be coming lights and sirens blaring, trying to get up to whatever scene they're responding to. and it has become a problem.
Yes,
for not just firefighters, but EMS, everybody that's a first responder, of navigating from town to town. Now this is a good problem to have. We've got more people, we've got more things are growing, which is a good thing. But the downside to that is it makes logistics harder and things like that. And now it's becoming a safety issue when our firefighters, our EMS, our law enforcement can't get to the scene because they're busy dealing with traffic. And so we've got, as a community, got to work together to understand what to do, how to navigate when that moment when you're sitting there diddy-bopping your favorite song, and next thing you know, light and sirens come blaring up your tailpipe here.
Yeah.
That's what we want to tell folks, but that's why Chief's here to kind of, join us here and say, hey, this if you want to help us, this is how you can help us.
Yes, sir. We're kind of in a different age. We got people driving down the roads now, wearing ear pods or stuff like that.
Yeah, not all of their senses are devoted to driving.
Yes, exactly. And so we'll be like, why isn't this guy getting out of the way? And then drive beside him. He's got his ear pods on, his noise canceling headphones or whatnot.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, man, come on.
Sure.
So we just kind of want to remind everybody that if you hear and see lights and sirens behind you, please pull off to the right, not the left.
Yes.
Not stop. Pull off to the right.
If you notice on Main Street, whenever an EMS or emergency responding vehicles in full lights and sirens, they're always in the left lane.
Yeah.
That's their training. Yep. That's how they are trained to do. That way they go left, that means you get right.
Yes.
Don't try to pop the medians and everything else. I was explaining to the chief earlier. I did a ride along, and I saw firsthand exactly what Chief's talking about.
Sir.
And you'd be amazed. I know we all laugh. We'd be like, are you serious? Yes, I am very serious. People, when you get startled, because that's usually what happens, is they say, oh no, and they're like, I gotta get away, I'm part of the problem, and they do something dumb because they get flustered. And so this is, look, you don't have to get flustered. You don't have to.
That's right.
Just you see the lights, you signs, kind of read the room. You're going to notice cars around you reacting as well. Why is everybody, maybe I need to start getting. So be a little, just
pay attention to your mirrors,
observant.
and as soon as you see us coming up or hear us coming up behind you, check your blind spot and just get over as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Don't put a crunch on other traffic as well. Take your time. We don't want to see you get in a wreck either.
And this is not something we're talking about that happens every once in a while. I'm going to take a stab at every time a fire truck or ambulance or cop car is on Main Street, every single time if they've got to go from, especially if it's from north to south or downtown to north or south or whatever, I'm going to guarantee there's at least 1 to 2 instances of them getting majorly delayed because someone doesn't know how to navigate getting around the vehicle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The only case for that not being true is if the call was right behind the firehouse.
Yeah, right.
But
they can literally walk over and say, bring the truck later,
other than that, we're required to get to the call from when the call comes out, when the tones drop at the fire station, to when we arrive to your house. We have to be there within 3 minutes. Anywhere in the city limits, we have to be there in 3 minutes.
And it's really hard to meet that goal if the community doesn't.
It's really
kind
hard.
of make that commitment. And this is why it's so important, because minutes are life and death. And whether it's the EMS vehicle here or a fire or law enforcement, if there's a domestic thing going down, seconds matter. Yeah. And so every minute that they're trying to get around you because you won't go right is an opportunity that we could lose life.
That's exactly right. And it puts us in a pinch because we have to pass on the left. And so when people just stop in the middle of the road, it requires us to stop behind them. Yeah. We can't take them on the right side. Well, I guess we could, but it puts us at a liability.
And that's what happens. You go right and someone plows into you, and guess what?
Like that. Yeah.
City gets sued, everybody gets sued, and you guys don't have a leg to stand on because you broke procedure.
That's right. That's exactly right. It's just a simple reminder of just pull to the right. It could be your family that we're trying to get to. And
do what you got. Put a sticky note on your visor. Say, go right. I mean, even if you not just whatever, if you freak out or don't remember, literally put a sticky note on the visor or whatever, etch it in there. Don't put it on your windshield and block your view, but someplace that'll be a reminder that say, oh, EMS, go right, go okay. Because every time law enforcement, EMS, fire, they are trained to go down the left lane. So that means you go right.
That's right.
So you don't have to know what they're thinking. They're going to be left. That's what they're doing.
Yep.
You don't have to anticipate, maybe they're always going to go left.
We're going to be on the left. Yeah, that's right. We even have big keep right stickers on the front of where when you see it in the mirror, it's going to read correctly in the mirror that say keep right.
Yeah, that's why when you look at an ambulance and say, why is it backwards on the front of it? Because when you look at it in the mirror, it's...
Yeah. Every time somebody helps us pull to the right, they're also aiding in the medical aid of us.
It is your great responsibility as a citizen in our community to do these things. I know, and I get it. Some people get scared and everything, but the reason you're scared is because it's lack of knowledge, lack of training.
Yeah.
And so we got to get it in your mindset. Just don't freak out. Just get right. And I get it. If you can't do it right this second because there's a car right there, no problem.
Yeah.
Speed up or slow down or whatever is appropriate to get you easier over to the right. The law enforcement, and they see it. They probably see it better than you do because they're up higher and they're saying, "Oh yeah, he can't get over because of this."
Yeah,
and they're not going to, they're not going to tailgate you. They're going to give you opportunity to get over if they can see you're making an attempt to do it.
Yes, sir.
But so don't get flustered, but just understand. You go and again, as a good, driver, you're always supposed to drive defensively, checking your mirrors constantly.
Amen.
I know we slept through some of our driver's ed classes, but they did tell you some good information in there.
Yeah, there's some important points.
And if you do those things, you won't be surprised.
Sir.
If you're constantly looking in the mirrors and everything else, you're going to see a big red vehicle or a big white ambulance, coming, especially if there's traffic, because you're going to hear people trying to get over. There's going to be a little bit of chaos going on behind you here.
That's right.
Anticipate accordingly, and you can avoid all of that.
Amen. Amen.
That's the big thing. And of course, since we're talking fire and all that, we are in that time of year with the wind, with every day's going to be fire weather watches. I imagine our firefighters are going to spend a lot of time on 285 and highways like this over the next couple months putting out fires because someone threw a cigarette butt out the window or parked in the high grass when they shouldn't have, or welded
pile-ups.
All the reasons that start these fires that happen out there.
Yeah.
So again, just be mindful. You should never be throwing the cigarette butts out the window. Use the ashtray or what. New cars have ashtrays anymore. I have no idea. But buy one from Walmart or wherever. Put in the cup holder. And don't throw them out the window. Especially around here, it's just too.
Amen.
It's a tinderbox. Everything. I mean, you saw it where. This winds, this dust storms, it can literally rain one day and have a dust storm the next because it's just so dry here.
Yeah, everything wants to burn right now.
It's and so I imagine you guys get called a lot to middle of nowhere to put out a fire that cropped up on the side of the road.
Yes, sir, we do.
And so just be mindful as we are getting in that season where it's going to be, more red flag warnings every day. And that's what these red flag warnings mean. It's fire weather watches, and all this stuff. We got one tomorrow. Already issued. It's just telling you, be mindful of this stuff.
Yeah, help us out a little bit.
Yeah. If you don't mind, I got a few minutes. I kind of to pick your brain on, for recruitment period.
Yeah.
Like, what's kind of a typical week like for a full-fledged firefighter?
All right.
Just G was curious.
Yeah.
Because I know you got to work some days on, some days off. You're there, what's kind of a Monday through Friday typically like for a firefighter?
Sure. Monday through Friday after the recruitment process and the grad recruit school and all that stuff. That's about a 22-week process. We have one of the most sophisticated firefighter schools in the state. So after you graduate that, your typical lifestyle, it kind of depends on which day it is. But Monday through Friday, are the business days.
Gotcha.
From 7:30 to 5 o'clock. And so those guys are always working, doing something. They're either cleaning something, but most of the time, this day and age, we're typically training on something.
Gotcha.
Because, as you've seen in this last year, we can have a G Street fire, which is the biggest fire that's ever happened in Roswell. You can have the gigantic flood, or somebody could be hopping off bottomless lakes in the summertime and need a rope rescue.
As a firefighter, doesn't even involve fire.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And so our trainings, anytime anybody has any kind of emergency, whether they fell off a cliff, a hazmat situation, having a heart attack, just got shot, you're expected for those three guys on the fire truck to know how to handle your problem.
Absolutely. You got to be a jack of all trades on the spot,
yes, sir.
And master of all three.
Stuck in a car, we'll get you out. House is on fire, we'll put it out and drag you out.
Well, you're the people that when all chaos goes down, you're the ones that have to fix it.
Yes, sir.
That's what firefighters do.
Yeah, so that's kind of what we do typically Monday through Friday is we're training on something, whether it's medical, fire, ropes, hazmat, all kinds of stuff.
And I imagine
extrication.
it's always dependent on your level of experience, because obviously the young newer recruits, they're learning to get certifications and things. As you're getting into the kind of middle management of firefighter, you've got your certain trainings, and then as you're getting to more senior leadership, then your trainings, and that probably more involves in leadership trainings. The beginning, they're learning the nuts and bolts of firefighting. By the time you're 10 years into this thing, you should probably know that by now. And
people tend to have a lot of questions when they first get on the department. Even though they just went through graduation school, it's like, all right, man, I know that was a flood of information now. What do you not understand? What did you not grasp hold of? Let's fix those problems.
Absolutely. It's like, I'm a veteran myself, military, so I can relate a little bit, whereas, you learn the job at the training thing, and then you really learn the job when you're on the job. That's just the nature of the beast. You'll know the safety, you'll know all the proper protocols and procedures, but once you get to the firehouse, that's when you learn how to be a firefighter.
Yes, sir. That's right. That's right. So, firehouse ain't the what people are used to hearing back in the old culture, where you walk in there, people are laying in a recliner or cooking something in the kitchen.
I feel like there's always a pot of something going on somewhere.
That's
too
my
much
image
of a
to
firefighter.
do. Yeah,
Gotcha.
and our fire department hadn't expanded too much, and the town has expanded a whole lot. And a lot of tourists coming in the summertime now with the 4th of July festival and UFO festival, and now we got the Roswell Air Race shows coming in September.
So you guys will be on patrol a lot
flood.
too.
This year it's doing a whole bunch of MCI drills, preparing so we're best able to aid if in the unfortunate event of anything ever happening. We're going to be top notch.
But for my own mental health, please tell me, there's still that moment where, it's 12 guys sitting around a table eating dinner every once in a while.
There is. Every night.
Because I feel like you got to have
there
that.
Is. Every
that's the cool
night.
part of being a firefighter, where there's, a dozen dudes around a table all eating dinner together.
And that's where the young guys learn the most, because we call it family dinners, and so every night we'll cook a meal or go pick up Dion's or something, whatever we have time to do, and then we'll sit around the table.
May not be the guy cooking chili in the firehouse, but
most of the time
y'all eating together.
Most of the time it's making fun of each other and talking about past experiences that we've all had.
That's what makes the bond happen. It's the same thing in the military. It's when you're in the gym or in the foxhole or in the back of the truck, and you're all doing the thing, and that's where the jokes. And at firehouses, it's literally at the table there. Because the rest of the time they're too busy saving people and don't have time for jokes and
they're either trained, which we train together.
It's all business at that point.
Yeah. And so it's a different kind of environment that most people wouldn't be used to, and just because it is another family.
But I think this is certain young people. I think this is good. This is your jam. I think there's gonna be like you were talking about football. Like if you're like the football players and stuff, and you really thrive on that team concept and love that being a part of something like that, being a firefighter is going to give you that same feeling, that same type of desire, need, want, and sense of belonging. It's going to give you that same thing. So if you're looking for that as kind of, you want a career that you feel like, I want to serve someone else at the same time, I want to know that when it goes down, I've got 12 other brothers and sisters that got my back. And that's firefighting.
You said it better.
That is firefighting. So please, and that's what I'm saying, as much work and hard, it's very fun too. I mean, let's get me wrong. I'm going to say, and I'm going to say to especially yourself and the other chiefs and things, every one of them you think it back, and some of your happiest moments are back when you're a young recruit doing that thing, with the firehouse and the fire hose went there, whatever, just that moment where, they ran up the thing with their underwear or something. It's always those things. That's what makes, and that's what creates that bond. And that's literally, that's what allows people going to a burning building together. That's what allows that to happen, is that bond that's happening there. Because when that's there, then they will walk through a burning building for you. And that's what they do every day.
Amen. That's right.
So if you want, I highly recommend you apply. If you love that kinship, that sense of belonging, you're probably not going to get anything closer to that than being like a firefighter serving in a first responder role some way like that.
Yes, sir. Come on out. We'd love to have you.
Yeah. But in the meantime, folks, for all those, if you have no desire to be doing that, I'll let those young bucks do that kind of thing. That's young people's work. Help us out by being that good steward on the highways. Keep the head on the swivel. If you're hearing the sirens, get right. If you're in the left lane, you're in the way.
Yeah.
And if you hear sirens and lights and you have the ability, even if you don't see the vehicle, if you're like, I hear it, but I don't know where it's at, just the know that you're going to be out of the way is just go ahead and get over to the right lane. If you have but now don't cut off cars and knock people out to do it.
That's right.
But if you hear the lights and signs, you're not even 1,000% where they're coming from, get right. If you're not in the right lane, then you might be, odds are you're probably going to be in the way of whatever's about to happen next. So just go ahead and get over to the right way. If nothing happens, great. Then get back over to the left when it's safe to do so. But that way, even if you don't see it, it's like, oh, I hear trucks, but I can't see it. Is it from behind me or from left? Get over to the right lane, and you're covered either way.
Yeah. Thanks for your help.
That's kind of the safety or the tip. When in doubt, go right.
Yes, sir. That's right.
And when not in doubt, go right.
Yeah. That would help us.
But that's the thing is and to trust me, your firefighters, your police officers, your EMS folks will be very, very appreciative, and because the last thing I want to do is they themselves get hurt or hurt you trying to go help others.
Yes, sir.
That's the last thing we need, because this is what happens when, I don't know how many times we've seen a police or our EMS vehicle get in a scuffle and now can't get to the call because they had an incident on the highway or an intersection because someone wasn't paying attention.
That's right.
That's unfortunate. And best case scenario is just a fender bender. Worst case scenario, we have more injuries and more bigger.
Cost is heavy either way. Somebody's waiting on us.
Yep. So please be mindful. If you take nothing out of our conversation here today, go right. And be honest, if you don't hesitate, if you want more questions, if you see a bunch of firefighters having lunch at a restaurant somewhere, go ask them. Talk to them. They'll be happy to talk to you about that. Or police officer or EMS folks, they all experience the same thing. They'll be happy to kind of share what,
They love to talk.
They love it, And you know
all
what? It's always popular to, pay it forward and buy police officers lunch. Firefighters like lunch too. They're just as important.
We're all right.
They roll deeper though usually. That's why it's a bigger bill.
They do tend to eat a lot.
They come with a whole army of people.
They work out too much.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Chief, is there any other information that we wanted to cover or anything we wanted to mention that we just skipped over or didn't get a chance to talk about?
No, sir. That's a great start.
Good deal.
We're just
anytime you guys, whether it's yourself or the chief want to come in and come or all the chiefs, we can bring a room full of chiefs. I don't know. Of course, the cat's away, mice play. We may not want to put all the chiefs in one room, so maybe that's a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I'd love to get or even maybe like we're recruiting here. Maybe over the summer we get guys that are maybe just out of the initial training, or maybe some of the younger ones that have a year or two under their belt and kind of share their experiences.
We'll make some plans with you for sure.
Yeah, I think that'd be fun.
That sounds great.
And, get people to see what life is like as a firefighter serving their community, and see the all the fun and all
a great time.
The tough parts too.
Yes, sir.
It's a rewarding job, but it's not an easy job. And there are going to be days you're going to be tired. You're going to feel worn out and beat up and broken. And
can promise you that.
but you're making a difference in our community. So thank you, Chief, as always, and thank you and every other firefighter out there serving and having our back every single day. It's nice to know that we all can sleep at night because we have a bunch of great individuals serving, ready at the moment's notice because it's never convenient when a fire breaks out or when it's always at 2 a.m. It's always when a house full of kids. It's always at a most inopportune time. And guess who's always there when that happens? It's these first responders. So
we enjoy it.
Thank you very much, sir. Appreciate it. All right, we're gonna. Wow, it's already 10 minutes to 10, man. This morning's like flying. Let's do this. Let's pause for news. Let's pause for an SRN market update and a few commercials to pay for lunch, and then we'll wrap up the show. Don't go away.
With your Pecos Valley news update, I'm Jared Cirillo. Amid the current temporary closure of the Roswell Animal Shelter to conduct a thorough cleaning after the discovery of canine distemper among multiple dogs there, local veterinarians are also finding distemper among dogs in the community that have not been in or near the shelter. Because of this, the city is taking a precaution of closing the dog park on North Grand Avenue next to the Wool Bowl. Residents are also urged to avoid interactions between dogs, do not commingle dogs with pets outside your household, and get your pets vaccinated. Eddy County Commissioners are voting to support a project that would store spent nuclear fuel near Carlsbad. This comes as a federal court ruling to block such a facility is under debate by the U.S. Supreme Court. The site has been proposed since about 2017, where as much as 100,000 metric tons of used nuclear fuels sent by rail from power plants around the entire country would be stored. Right now, there is no such waste facility anywhere in the U.S., and spent fuel rods are currently stored near the facilities, mostly in cooling ponds, as they await their final destination. You're up to date. I'm Jared Cirillo.
Turn up your radio. Here's the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
This party has doubled down on their radicalism. They are now the party of endless war. We saw that on display at the joint session speech on Tuesday night. They are now the party that advocates and champions men and women's sports. They're the party now that puts the rights of illegal immigrants, and we know we have known terrorists and rapists and murderers and others and cartel members and gang members in our country, and they're fighting for the rights of illegal immigrants versus the safety of the American people. And then you find out hundreds of billions of dollars are being spent abroad on this crap, and they're calling that a constitutional crisis.
Check out the Sean Hannity radio show later today, right here.
Warning! Inflation is back on the rise. The national debt is spiraling out of control. The stock market has been at an all-time high, and wars continue to rage across the globe. Experts are predicting a massive economic crash for 2025, and you should be ready. Will you sit on the sidelines and wait, or will you take action today to help protect your hard-earned retirement savings? Right now, you can get a free gold and silver kit from the top-rated precious metals company, Goldco, where you'll learn why tens of thousands of hardworking Americans and even the world's central banks are turning to precious metals to help protect and diversify their money. Get your free gold and silver kit from Goldco by visiting HannityGold.com or calling 855-815-GOLD. You could even receive up to a 10% instant match on bonus silver for qualified accounts. Don't let your financial future slip through your fingers. Learn why so many Americans are diversifying with gold and silver today. Visit HannityGold.com or call 855-815-GOLD.
It's time for the Chaves County Sports Report. Today's the first day in Albuquerque for the state girls basketball tournament. We had first-round games over this past weekend. I'd like to give you the rundown of who's playing who and where, but all of the Chaves County teams were ousted back on Friday. Let's give you a recap because all of these teams did have good seasons, and they all made it to the state tournament. Roswell, 14 seed in Class 5A, fell at number 3 Mayfield, 61-38. It was Goddard, 16th seed, playing at number 1 Kirtland Central, and the Broncos won that 68-23. West Las Vegas took care of Dexter. Dexter was the 15th seed. The Lady Dons, the 2nd seed. Final score 66-36. And also on Friday, Gateway Christian, 11th seed in Class 1A. They had a tough time with number 6 Cliff. The Cowgirls won it 40-17. The Sports Report brought to you by DSI. Call DSI for all your office technology needs. I'm Eric Butler at Roswell Talk FM 106.5.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. High pressure overhead, so we will stay sunny and warm today, but the wind will be kicking up a little bit, 25 to 35 miles an hour, and our afternoon high in the upper 70s. Overnight looks clear, down to a low of 40, and then gusty again on Wednesday. Watch out for some blowing dust on the roadways. Will be sunny and our afternoon high in the mid-70s, wind gusting to 40. Windy again on Thursday. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. All eyes on Wall Street today following yesterday's huge sell-off, prompted at least in part by recession fears. After one of the worst single-day sell-offs in Tesla history, President Trump is throwing his support behind his advisor Elon Musk, vowing to buy one of his vehicles. Tesla has been pounded this year under competition from rival electric vehicles, especially those coming out of China. Shares have plummeted 45% so far this year, tumbling more than 15% yesterday. Nissan announces its chief executive, Makoto Uchida, is stepping down. He's giving up the post after Nissan reported dismal financial results. Nissan projecting a $540 million loss for the current fiscal year. Nissan says Ivan Espinosa, currently the company's chief planning officer, will take Uchida's place. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Get ready to boogie at the Spencer Theater for the Performing Arts. On Saturday, March 15th at 7 p.m., experience When Disco Was King, featuring the Kings of Disco, all former members of the world-famous Village People. Dance the night away to hits from legends like the Bee Gees, Donna Summer, and Earth, Wind & Fire. Get your tickets today by visiting spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660.
Coming this April 4th and 5th, the My Ashley Foundation, in cooperation with the Downtown Lions Club in Artesia, New Mexico, present their first annual golf tournament and banquet featuring guest speaker Kevin Sorbo.
Now, I am very excited to be heading to Artesia, New Mexico on April 4th, 5th, and 6th for a very special weekend with our dear friends Mark and Lorraine Richards and the incredible My Ashley Foundation. Friday night, we're going to kick off things with a very special dinner and an auction. And then on Saturday, we're going to hit the golf course, which is my favorite thing, for a day of fun, laughter, and maybe even a little competition. I do get a little competitive. And on Sunday, we're going to be gathering up for a time of worship and fellowship at Harvest Fellowship Church. You don't want to miss this. Be sure to bring your tickets, grab them right now, and join us in supporting this incredible outreach that are making a real difference in Artesia. And I hope to see you all very, very soon. God bless.
For golf reservations and sponsorships, call the ACC Pro Shop 575-746-6732. And for individual banquet tickets, call the Artesia Chamber of Commerce 575-746-2744. All proceeds will go to the Artesia Lions Club and the My Ashley Foundation to support the organization's community service and outreach programs.
Emerging fund managers and venture capital companies. Streamline your investment strategy with the state of New Mexico's SSBCI program. The SSBCI offers free expert support to help you access opportunities and drive small business growth. We'll help you navigate funding requirements, legal considerations, accounting, and more. Get started today at edd.newmexico.gov. That's edd.newmexico.gov. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 9:58. I got a minute or two here before we wrap up today's show. If you missed any part of our show, I always invite you to go back and check it out at your leisure. Just log on to ksvptv.com. We replayed our interview with CEO of the National Championship Air Races, Fred Telling. We played that in the 7 o'clock hour. In the 8 o'clock hour, Dr. Sean Powell with Eastern New Mexico University Roswell joined us to chit-chat about they're here in a couple weeks. They'll be starting registration for summer, spring semester, all that good stuff at the same time. So that and a bunch of other great stuff. And then, of course, we had Deputy Fire Chief Derek Washachek join us talking safety, really about urging people to go right. Whenever you see the EMS, fire trucks, first responders, all those folks, they're usually on Main Street because that's where usually a lot of the traffic happens. When you ever see them coming up, get right. Get right. They're always going to be coming left. You go right. That's the message he wants to tell folks. because it's been a problem. Folks are not knowing what to do. They're not getting out of the way, and minutes are lives in their world, in our world. So be helpful. If you see them coming, get right. If you hear the lights and sirens, not sure where they're coming from, get right. They're always coming left. They're going to be on the left. That's what their training's taught them. That's what they're going to do. Even if you go to the middle, they're going to park right behind you because they will not go right. They will go left every single time. So help out there. All right, we got to go. Have an amazing day. Thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of it. You're listening to 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Have a great day, everybody.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. Today, the U.S. House is preparing to debate and vote upon a continuing resolution to fund the government for the remainder of this federal fiscal year. House Speaker Mike Johnson says the bill has no frills.
This clean CR contains no poison pill riders, no policy riders there at all, no cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, or Social Security, zero. No cuts to veterans benefits, zero. In fact, as was noted, we plus up the accounts for veterans.
The proposal, which was unveiled Saturday by the House Republican majority, largely funds the federal budget at current levels, avoiding a potential partial government shutdown on Friday night. Also at townhall.com, talks between senior officials from Ukraine and the United States on how to end Kyiv's 3-year war with Russia have opened in Saudi Arabia. The delegations met for about 3 hours in the morning before taking a break, talks continuing in the afternoon. The Trump administration's purge of foreign aid programs appears complete, with more than 80% eliminated.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the administration's review of foreign aid is officially ending, with some 5,200 of the U.S. Agency for International Development's 6,200 programs eliminated. In a post on X, he says those programs did not serve and in some cases even harmed the core national interests of the United States. The surviving programs are now being moved to the State Department.
Correspondent Ben Thomas also says that a federal judge has ruled against nonprofit groups and businesses that wanted their aid restored. However, the ruling said that the administration was obliged to pay groups who had already completed their work. On Wall Street, stocks have turned lower, the Dow dropping 449 points, the NASDAQ composite 37 points in the red. More at townhall.com.
Hey everybody, Charlie Kirk here. As executive director of Turning Point USA, a national radio host, podcaster, husband, and father of 2, my schedule is about as crazy as it can possibly get. 2 years ago, I made the decision to take control of my health, and I chose PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition because I needed a plan that